Hello, race fans. Welcome back to our second race of this evening, and we are proud to be here with the RSR Cup Series for race number one of the round of 16 at Talladega Superspeedways to kick off these guys' playoffs. I'm going to tell you what, we got 16 drivers coming in tonight with a shot at a championship, and it all begins here at Talladega, one of the toughest tracks on the circuit. The RSR Cup Series is brought to you by their proud sponsor of Orr Nissan Central, the leading Nissan dealership in Oklahoma City. I'm Zach Hall, and tonight joining me in the booth, I got my good buddies Brandon Colley here, going to be calling the action alongside me, and also our main man Robert Moyer calling the show up top and running this beautiful broadcast we got for you guys. I'm going to tell you what, Talladega here tonight. This is where your playoff dreams can begin and be crushed very soon. So hopefully we see some great racing action. I'm excited. This league has got some really cool storylines going on, and we got some great racing to bring to all of our wonderful fans here tonight.
Well, Zach, you mentioned that your championship hopes can be dashed pretty quickly here, and this it's scary to start the playoffs here because I think just surviving is going to be key tonight. You don't want to get dug into a hole you're going to have to climb out of, but I'd rather start around with this race than end with one, that's for sure.
That's right. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is just like real NASCAR. So we have 16 drivers starting in our playoffs here. This is the round of 16. This is race number one of the round of 16. We have 3 races in this round. If you win, you're locked into the next round. So some lucky driver could win and lock themselves in. But also remember, we have more than just 16 drivers here tonight that can play a factor. Someone might be able to pull off their first win here tonight. You never know. So we got a lot of great storylines here to play out. And we'll head to the standings here to get a good look at our playoff standings so we can see what is the beginning of round number one here, race number one. And I'm excited because, man, the points are very, very close. And here they are. Points are up on the board. At the top of the board, we have Bob Fitzpatrick in that number 3, starting off with 2,020 points. And then we go down from there. Matt Upbrook is 1 point back in there in the second position. Michael Sheffield there in third. GT Izari, sorry about that, GT. Travis Everett there in the 5th position. Matthew Rush is 6th. Curtis Preston is in 7th. Kevin Sabilla is in 8th. Randy Cornwell is in 9th. Andrew Little is 10th. 11th will go to Nolan Potter. And then right on the edge of the cut line here is Zach Schrithenthal. And then we have in 13th, Brock Potter, who is 1 point out from the cut. So remember, 12 drivers move on from this first round of 16 after 3 races. So Brock Potter there in 13th. And we don't have in 14th David Edwards. He is not on this list because he missed the last race. So it's not in our data. That will be updated after this race, and he will be included in there. So just know David Edwards in the 15 is 14th in points. So 15th will go to Harold Watkins. And then rounding out your top 16 is going to be Scott Taylor there. And I tell you what, it's close all the way through the whole field. I mean, you got 19 points in between 16 guys. It could come down to a lot of crazy stuff here in this playoffs. You're never safe unless you win. Winning your end is the mentality here tonight, Brandon.
Well, and it's anybody's game here at Talladega. Anybody can win from any. And so some of these guys, I imagine, are going to be pushing pretty hard that are lower down on that playoff cut, Zach.
Yeah, definitely. And now we're looking at our overall points there. You can see outside of that top 16 there, Daniel Gonzalez is leading our overall points that are outside of the playoff guys. So they're in 16th. You see him at the top of the board there, ahead of Craig A. Burns and David Hall. And he's got a decent sized gap there, but that battle will continue on through the rest of these final 10 races here at RSR Cup Series. And I'm tell you what, it's going to be interesting to see who can come out on top of there also. So awesome stuff. And as we go down here, you see you got J.R. Miller there in 19th, Marc-Andre Thibodeau in 20th, Ryan Ezel in 21st, Michael Heroux in 22nd, Kevin Zabladil in 23rd, Calvin Ruff in 24th, or Kevin Ruff, sorry about that, Chad Biesinger in 25th, 26th is Nathan Campbell. 27th is James Corderone. And Richard Gonzalez there in the 28th position, followed by Drew Hatcher in 29th, Adam Buzzio in 30th, Dustin Stallings in 31st, 32nd goes to Robert Nestor, and 33rd is Bean. I think that might be, that's an error I think there. That is not his name. His last name is Bean, I know that. 34th is Caleb Kilo, our winner there in the ARCA series from tonight. And then the rest of the field there has 0. So we got Clint Monaco. But yeah, that's our point standing for this whole field. And I'll tell you what, a lot of stuff to go on here tonight. Like I said, 19 points for your playoff guys, separating them. It's really, really, really tough to be able to win a championship here. And the person who comes out on top of this championship by the end of these 10 races is going to be a warrior, that's for sure, to survive this, as we are in qualifying at the moment. And it looks, and I want to just give a little background information on RSR, their Cup Series. So in the RSR Cup Series here, they do have an Owners Championship. I'll go through that. We don't have a graphic for that yet, but we will get that for next week. We do have an Owners Championship, and they also have, of course, the Cup, championship for the drivers. And each team here, there's 8 total charter teams. So this works out just almost like NASCAR. You got a charter system where, like we just seen before, the ARCA cars, you come up through that series to get to this Cup Series. So there's a stepping stone to get here. And you can, it brings new drivers in. And like I said, there's 8 teams with charters, 5 drivers on each team, or each team can have 5 drivers. And then each team has a driver/owner, and they're responsible for running their individual team here. And I think it's one of the coolest things personally I've seen. I mean, it's really, really awesome structure, and I'm excited to be able to broadcast it here tonight. And I can actually kind of bring up the points, even though we don't have a graphic for that tonight. Slide Job Racing is your top in team standings, followed by Stealth Motorsports. 3rd goes to Clutch Motorsports. 4th is Jetsman Racing. 5th is Flyboys Racing. 6th is Zab Motorsports. 7th is Front Row Racing. And then 8th, your final team, is Who-Me Motorsports. So, we got 8 awesome teams here tonight. And that's another thing. We're at Talladega, where teamwork is very critical. We're going to see lots of crazy stuff. And we also got some information on the fuel windows and tire stuff.
That's right, Zach. Speaking about teams and, need to work with your teams, there's also a lot of other things to have to work with. We've got 110 laps tonight, 3 stages at 30 laps, 50 laps. A fuel load of 80%. They've only got 3 sets of tires in the pits. That shouldn't come into play with it being Talladega, but, fresh rubber doesn't hurt. And fuel run looking at 26 laps tonight. So these guys are not quite going to be able to make it to the end of the stages unless they do a lot of fuel saving, Zach.
Yeah, that's for sure, man. The thing is, we got, like you said, stages at lap 30, lap 60. And remember, this is just like I said NASCAR handles it. The top 10 drivers each get points for this. So if you finish first, you get 10. You finish 10th, you get 1 point. It's from there, from there on there between. So those can be very critical points here coming in tonight, like I said, because that's only 19 points separating this top 16. So really, really cool stuff we're seeing. And we'll have to monitor how these stages play out here tonight for sure. And at the moment, we got GT Irizarry on our top of the board, ahead of Matthew Rush and Michael Sheffield for the top 3 so far. And it looks like we are done with qualifying, guys. GT Irizarry is going to qualify on the pole, and that is your Sheffield Graphics pole winner. And we'll go through the grid, and then we'll bring him up for an interview. So starting on the pole there, GT Irizarry there in first place. 2nd goes to Matthew Rush. 3rd is Michael Sheffield. 4th is Travis Everett. 5th is Chad Biesinger. 6th is Curtis Preston. 7th is Nathan Campbell. 8th, Marc-Andre Thibodeau. 9th is Craig A. Burns. 10th is Randy Cornwell. 11th, Scott Taylor. 12th goes to Kevin Sabilla. 13th is Michael Martino. 14th is Robert Nestor. 15th is Casey Kuntz. 16th is Bob Fitzpatrick, our points leader. 17th is Zach Strithenthal. 18th is Nolan Potter. 19th, Daniel Gonzalez. 20th goes to Andrew Little. 21st, Calvin Ruff. 22nd is Brock Potter. Anthony Hughes is 23rd. 24th is Ryan Bean. 25th is Matt Upbrock. 26th is Kevin Zabladil. 27th is Adam Buzio. 28th is Junior Miller. 29th is Dustin Stallings. 30th is Harold Walkings. 31st, Tony Ludi. 32nd, David Hall. 33rd, Drew Hatcher. 34th is Ryan Azale. 35th is Michael Haru. And 36th, rounding out your field, is Stephen Potter. So what a field we have here tonight. 36 cars. Now we'll pull up your Sheffield Graphics pole winner. Hey, GT, it's Zach up in the booth. I think he might be deafened. So we might not be able to talk with GT here unless he can undeafen himself real quick. Do not believe will not be able to talk to GT here. We'll pull him back up to his team room there and get him set for this race, as he is a Slide Job Racing driver. So top of the board, that's a tough team right there too. That Slide Job Racing. So really cool to see. But here these guys roll off on this starting grid, and man, I'm excited. This is gonna be awesome. We got 110 laps here tonight. Remember, stages lap 30, lap 60. Only can make it 20. It's 26, right, Brandon? Right?
1 second, Zach. Got to pull that back up. I believe it was 26, yes, but it could be 28.
Yeah, 26, yes.
26, okay, yeah. So they're definitely going to have to do a little bit of fuel saving between these stages. They're definitely not going to be able to make it to the end unless they do some aggressive fuel saving. But honestly, I don't think anybody's going to be taking that risk. There's too much on the line to, potentially run out of fuel that early into the race.
Definitely so. There's I think GT, I think he might have been undeafening himself so he could get talking with us, but now that we're already going into turn 3, it looks like we're a little behind on that. So unfortunately, we didn't get to talk with your Sheffield Graphics pole winner here tonight, but maybe at some point he'll win a stage, or under one of these cautions we'll get to talk with him later here. So I mean, that's saying if we have a caution. We just had a green flag race here just earlier, so you never know with these guys. They can put on a heck of a show. I'm excited. Let's all bring the energy. Thank everybody for tuning in here to Freaky Fast Broadcasting for our first night here at the RSR Cup Series. I'm telling you what, guys, I can feel the energy in the air. It's buzzing.
Well, Zach, I'm always a fan of plate racing. I like the mentality behind it, and it always brings a lot of cool strategy and aggressive racing, and always the risk for that big one at any turn. So you're really not safe anywhere in this field. So everybody's got to mind their P's and Q's and keep it going straight and just make it to the end.
You're completely right, Brandon. As we've seen the pace car take the hard left off the pit road, these guys are going to pace down to the start line. Green. There it is, green flag in the air for GT Azari. He has the lead, taking off in that 14 machine. We're going to see early stuff happening here. Is look at Michael Sheffield, their teammate Michael Sheffield, I must point out, jumping down to the bottom and getting in behind. Or actually, that is Travis Everett there getting in behind. As we're getting used to everything here. But yeah, we're going to see the biggest thing here is I'm looking forward to seeing is the teamwork. We got 8 charter teams here. Like, how does the teamwork work out? This track is all about teamwork and making sure you have friends when you need them. And it's going to be very cool to watch all night here as these guys start to get single filed out. I thought I would see this. This is a long race, 110 laps, Brandon. These guys are showing some patience early and saying maybe it's a good idea not to jump our stuff, especially in the playoffs.
Well, we've got some experience with trying to organize team strategy and stuff in these plate races, and it can be a handful. You just kind of want to get close, and you mentioned everybody's filing out single file, and you definitely don't want to junk half the field and be involved in a caution in the first half of a race, or even earlier than that. So I think everybody's just going to run around now, try to maybe plan and see what everybody else is doing, and just wait until later to really start racing. There's not much reason to do it now.
You're exactly right about that. You definitely don't want to put yourself in a terrible situation here early, especially if you're a playoff driver. You, like I said, you ain't gonna win the championship here tonight, but I can tell you what, it could definitely lead to you winning a championship. You can have one bad race here, put yourself in a hole, and then you have another bad race, you're most likely out of it. And you can see also, we got on the board here, you can see the playoff drivers are highlighted in yellow. That lets you know who is in the playoffs. And they also have the yellow banners on their cars, so that's very easily noticeable, and that's it's awesome to have here, so everybody can, stay along with us here as we follow these playoff drivers as their fight for a championship here at the RSR Cup Series. Is pretty much now it's all completely single file. These guys are showing a lot of patience here early in this 110 lap race.
Oh, that's absolutely right. We had a couple guys that were, hung out on the outside, maybe trying to, see if they could run by themselves exactly how well it would work. It doesn't look like it's going to work too well, but everybody at the front for the most part, except maybe back here to about 23rd or so, now they're all finally getting single filed out. Looks like it's going to be follow the leader for a little while, and I think they may have been listening to the broadcast or maybe just thought ahead, but I imagine some of these guys are probably going to be saving back here like they're running now, not having to race anybody, and try to make it to the end of that stage. And like you said, the first race of the playoffs, valuable stage points, so it's always on everybody's mind.
Very critical. If we can, that's the thing, man. We said 26 laps is what we're looking at on fuel. You can save a good bit in this draft. Especially, GT's not sitting in the best position personally for this. He's going to be out there burning the most fuel leading this race. As you see Matt Uprock there leading on the outside. And he's trying to move forward a little bit in that 16. He is one of our playoff contenders there. He's actually second in the points coming in tonight. They're running in that 20th position. So he's going to try to move himself up there, maybe get a little farther up, try to get some stage points here for lap 30. Definitely want to be in position for it. There's Zach Trudenthal. He's 12th on points, so right ahead of the cut line, only 1 point above it starting off tonight. It's going to be a very good – he's going to need some points tonight for sure to definitely build that gap for himself in that Stealth Motorsports Chevrolet there.
Well, like we always talk about for these plate races, it's just putting yourself in a good position, and the best position you can find. And especially with stage breaks and stuff, it matters more so just being in the right position at those breaks rather than just setting up for the big picture at the end to maximize your point gain. You talk about the 16 leaving that outside lane in the back. He's looking to be that guy on the interstate. He knows the lane's closed ahead, but he's going to try to get there right at the last second and file in front of somebody, maybe pick up some positions here.
Exactly right. And the thing with, like I said, the 26 lap rule there, they can, if you can save enough to make it to 30, you put yourself in a position to get some really good stage points. Now the question is, can you make it to 30 and get back around for that caution, before the pit road opens? So that's going to be the tough spot. Is around that bumper cam of Randy Cornwell and the 18 machine there for Plush Motorsports. Now, I'm also seeing a different strategy. So we got about a 28 car line up front. From 29th on back there with Junior Miller leading there in the 28th. They're about 7.2 seconds back from there. You can see them backing out this gap now. They're in that 28 machine. He's leading Adam Duzio. In the 55, Dusty Stallings, David Hall, Tony Ludi, and Drew Hatcher. So, very interesting strategy to play back here. This is what you'll see some guys decide to do. They want to drop back here, get in position, and not, if that big wreck happens, they have a bunch of time to slow down. So this is definitely a strategy you'll see at Talladega used quite often.
And looking at it now, towards the back of the pack, the outside lane, they're looking to form something here and maybe catch those two cars that are a bit further up on the outside. And generally, if you see guys racing at the front, side by side, you drop back a little bit because you're like, if they mix it up and get into an accident, you don't want to be involved. But if everybody's single file and nobody's racing on the outside like that, why not be the guy that goes up there? And if you run clean enough, there's no harm in it. Once it comes down to pit time, you're kind of stuck, so you gotta hope somebody lets you in, or risk pushing a little bit too far and running out of fuel.
Well, I'll tell you what, that 12 of Greg A. Burns, he jumped up to the top line, and he's starting to actually pull pretty far forward. He is past the fifth place car there on the bottom of the Look, now we're gonna have another car jump up. Looks like that was Curtis Preston in the 29. He's gonna jump up to the top. One of our playoff leaders in that 7th position. There we go, front row racing. He's up to 4th now. Look, he's gonna go to the outsider for 2nd. This I'll tell you what, they rode for 8-7 laps there, and now they're like, well, let's do some racing. That just shows you drivers in their ability just to wait for racing. They say, you know what, well, let's put a show on.
It's really difficult, Zach, especially at tracks like this that are just super racy in general, to just want to run in a line and just kind of turn laps. It gets really boring, and you lose kind of a lot of patience doing it. And so eventually somebody says, of course, you know what, man, we're just going to go lead some laps now. I'm tired of hanging out back here, and that's exactly what they're doing. And, we talk about stage points and everything and, winning races, but leading laps, that'll gain you points too.
It definitely will. Look, there goes Curtis Preston to the front. He drops down in front of GT. He will take the lead of this race. He wants to lead him a lap, as he did lead that last one by. Craig A. Burns up on top, but I tell you what, who's pushed him all the way up there? That 16 started from the 25th position up to 5th for Matt Upbrook. Man, he's coming here 2nd in points. That's a pretty interesting move there. He said, I want to get up here and get some more stage points to pad that stats, or pad that 15-point lead he has over that 12 or that 13 position points.
Well, unfortunately, I think just how hard he's having to push, just to literally fuel. So he's probably going to have to come in when the rest of these guys do it, lap 26. He don't really have much to lose. He may not end up in the top 10 at the end of the stage, but you're definitely not going to run out of fuel and end up last.
Definitely right about that. Yeah, it's such an interesting thing to play. Like, you want the stage points, you want to save the fuel, you want to try to be able to make it. You don't know if that's going to play out, and if you put yourself too far back to not get stage points, then it's kind of counterproductive, I guess you could say. And you're going to want stage points. Stage points are going to be very critical to this playoffs. The more stage points you can build up, the bigger the points gap you can build between you and that cut line, or pull yourself up out of it. As coming into this race, Brock Potter, David Edwards, Harold Watkins, and Scott Taylor are all on that cut line. They're under it, and right now at the moment, most of those gentlemen are not up near the front of this field. They are deciding to survive, it looks like, and as I would say, survive and advance type deal.
Well, I think those guys that are closer to the cut line, Zach, they're going to be the ones, I think, to save fuel and take that risk, because they really don't have much to lose. They're already on the outside looking in. Gamble, roll the dice, try to get something good out of it, gain a lot of points, whereas the guys that are already in front and hold their position don't lose too much, so there's not going to be much risk from them, I don't think.
It's a very good point there, Kyle. Yeah, for them, that would be the point. Then they could steal those points that these other guys may be having to run harder when having to pit. So, yeah, here we go. We're looking at the 23 there of Chad Singer there for the Zab Motorsports, running in that 10th position there on the bottom. And these guys are doing a great job. Recently just ran a race. I can say the draft is really powerful right now with these Cup cars. You can't get a lot of side-by-side racing like we did here early, and even that top 3rd lane can really work. It really comes down to how hard you want to push, but I tell you one thing these cars will do very quickly, and that is overheat, and it's very tough to manage that.
It really is. It's a finesse thing that I still haven't been able to figure out the perfect way to be aggressive and push people, but also not overheat the car to where I'm having to back up a lot. And you talked about the draft being so effective. They tweaked the aerodynamics of these cars, and it seems like just the pull that you get in the draft is so important here. And something else that we've noticed as we've got pit stops going on now.
Yeah, 14. Yeah, so they're doing the backwards pit stop here. So they're doing the road course. They're pitting as soon as they knew they could make it to get here. They're coming down. So that's Curtis Preston, GT Azari. And I believe that is also Travis Everett, Matthew Rush, Michael Sheffield. We got Taylor, Randy Cornwell, and Bob Fitzpatrick. So some definite heavy hitters for the playoffs. They're pitting. Now up front, Craig A. Burns on the bottom, but look at Matt Opbrook getting pushed by that 8 of Robert Nestor. And they're going to clear. Oh, man. Very close stuff. Can the 8 get back down in front of the 12? As the 75 jumped up high, he said, I don't know about that one. Here, and look, here comes the 16, the 12, coming down pit road with multiple other cars. So you got Craig A. Burns, Matt Upbrock, Casey Kuntz, Kevin Ruff, Daniel Gonzalez, Ryan Bean, J.R. Miller, Adam Bezio, Dustin Stallings, David Hall, and Tony Ludi. So lots of guys playing this road course strategy. I say, you pit when when you can make it to wherever the number. You don't go as far as you can on fuel because it's not really necessary if you know you can't make it. So that right there tells me it's going to be tough for a lot of these guys to make it to that 30 mark.
Well, I mean, it's a good strategy, with stage racing. That strategy works out really well. Full green flag start to finish is 110 laps. That does not work quite as well. The downside to this strategy is that now the distance they can make it in stage 2 is much less. I don't know how it plays out to the end for that last stage of 50 laps. But it may work out very well for them to gain a lot of stage points for this stage at least.
You're completely right about that. It's gonna, that works out weird, especially because, the timing of the pit stop. Do you pit under and you on and try to hit a certain number each time and split those up? And because you're not going to be able to make it those full stage distances from what we've seen so far, unless someone has got a good reserve tank on that. I don't know. Looks like that is. Oh, and he's spinning.
Somebody's spinning.
Oh, and that's going to bring the caution out. That's J.R. Miller. In that 28, he was coming to pit road and just locked the rears up. Easy to do over the bumps there. There's bumps right on the entry of that pit road. And that is your caution here tonight. So that is your Ford Nissan Central caution number 1 of the night. We'll go back here on replay and check out what happened there with the 28. As you can see, 3 wide. And the thing is Junior just was on pit road there, so I think he was coming down for a penalty, some type of penalty he got, because he had already pit. And look, see, he hit the bumps, and that just sends the car losing the rear end straight to the right, and that's going to bring out an early caution here. And now the question is, can you save enough fuel for these guys who didn't pit to make it to the stage? I think that's what you do.
Well, I'm not sure, Zach. I feel you kind of want to be on an even playing field with the rest of the field. I don't think you want to get too much out of cycle with everybody else.
Right.
So honestly, if I had not pit at this point, I think that I would just come in, and even still, you're going to have a little bit extra fuel than the guys that just pit, so you still have somewhat of an advantage. And you can even further that. You're going to be starting behind the guys that have already pit, so you can save a little bit of fuel. But then again, it's so close to the end of the stage that they may not go that route. But I will point out that during that green flag pit stop, Ryan Zell, he slid through his box and lost the draft of the group that he came in with and fell a lap down. And this should have let him get the lucky dog, but I think he got some damage once the caution came out, so it took it away from him. Very unfortunate, including the nose damage, which is going to hinder his progress with speed. So he's going to have a rough go of it from here on out, I think.
Yeah, I think slowing down there, checking out for caution, he might have gotten to the back of somebody, like you said there, got some damage. But yeah, that's going to hurt Ryan there early in this race in that 88 machine. And yeah, it's unfortunate here early in the race for him. But yeah, a few guys pitting there, and we're under our first caution tonight. Remember, that is our caution sponsor of Nissan Central, and also the primary sponsor of our RSR Cup Series here. Remember, Nissan Central is the leading Nissan dealership in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. You can go check out their website at www.ornissancentral.com. So go give them a look there if you're in the area and you'd love to get to check out some Nissans, man. That's a really great sponsor they have here. And also, their other sponsor here at the RSR Cup Series and Elite Racing Leagues, is Sheffield Graphics. Sheffield Graphics, they specialize in sim racing paint schemes as well as team logos and race posters. Um, and this is something really cool I love about Sheffield Graphics is they don't charge you for the work they do. All they ask is you go to their website and go to the donation link they have there and donate directly to the Folds of Honor. And that is a really, really commendable thing they do. And it's just really cool to see that, they're not, they would rather send the money to something, really cool or really generous, back to our veterans of this country to for their work and for sim racing and team logos and race posters and stuff. And that is owned by Michael Sheffield, one of our drivers out here, and that's based out of Chesapeake, Virginia. So shout out to Michael Sheffield and Sheffield Graphics for sponsoring the RSR Cup Series here. And we also got to give a quick shout out, as always, to our sponsors here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Uh, our sponsors here tonight are Rocket Racing Setups, as always. And remember, Rocket Racing Setups is your one-stop shop for all your iRacing setup needs. They've been dominating the dirt since 2017. And after a short break, they have rebuilt and are ready to bring their customers back to the front of the pack in 2020. Remember, they are producing setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, road, pro trucks, rallycross, and they currently have multiple builders working on doing setup packs, booklets, plus coaching lessons, and much more coming. Go check out Rocket Racing Setups at www.rocketracingsetups. And also, you can use a promo code for 10% off at rocketracingsetups.com. And that code is DLAM09. So DLAM09. So remember to use that code for 10% off for all your iRacing open setup needs at Rocket Racing Setups. And we also have to give a quick shout out to the ButtKicker Gamer 2. Remember, ButtKicker is mission statement is every game deserves a truly immersive experience. The ButtKicker Gamer 2 lets you feel every detail from the subtle footsteps to the rumble of a V10 powered race car, from ambient environmental effects to the power of a nearby explosion. By moving a physical mass instead of only air, like traditional speakers would, the Gamer 2 provides instant, accurate, powerful bass response. And it's all perfectly synced with every game with no additional software. Go check out ButtKicker and their ButtKicker Gamer 2 at buttkicker.com to get yourself truly immersed and let you feel the game the way you need. So thank you to our amazing sponsors here at Freaky Fast and the amazing sponsors here at the RSR Cup Series. What a night it's been so far. We're 20 laps in. Stage coming up here at lap 30. We'll have to see how this all plays out as the pace car lights are off. We're going through 3 and 4, and we're about to get this thing back kicked off.
Well, Zach, before we go back to green, 2 quick updates. 1st through 11th did not pit during that last stop, so they went with your advice and decided to stay out and just try to save fuel under caution. And also, the contact with the 88 was with the 54 of Anthony Younes under that yellow, so bit of damage for both of them. But Younes up to the 11th position at the moment.
Yes, he is there, and now the leader there, Chad Basinger, leading this field ahead of Nathan Campbell on the outside. Will bring him here to the restart zone for the second restart of the night. The green flag is out, and Chad will lead us down into turn 1 with Robert Nestor there in behind in that 8 machine.
Well, I think we're going to see the intensity ramp up here, Zach. We got a 10-lap shootout to the end of the stage. Really hoping that these guys that didn't pit were able to save enough, because everybody's going to be giving it all it's got, and you don't want to run out of fuel in front of the field here for how close everybody's going to be packed together. It can cause a really big problem.
Being packed together like that, and that's where you see the issues. I mean, we've seen it in real life NASCAR. These things get crazy runs, and where you see issues is when people run up on somebody that's going a lot slower. And you can already see, look at that 3 wide in the back of the pack there with a few playoff drivers. I can see the yellow banners. So some guys putting themselves in positions right now. You never know what could happen at this racetrack. You don't want to end up early in that pit road getting damages fixed, because remember here at RSR, no fast fixes. It's one and you're done. You know, you're pretty much out there with the car you got and what the pit crew can do to fix it. As we look here at Bob Fitzpatrick, our points leader coming into tonight.
Looking at the front here, they've got Zach in the 2 and Potter in the 34. Both playoff drivers looking to maybe lead some laps here and potentially take this stage win. They're pushing pretty hard.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if these guys can make it on fuel too. Remember, not only 2 guys elected from fuel that had already stayed out to pit. You know that the gentlemen that have already pitted there in a pretty good position. As you see a few of them pushing up through there. Just like Nolan Potter there, started 18th. He's starting to crack that lead there as he's getting pushed by that 2 of Zach Schrithenthal up through the top. And I tell you what, the pushes are getting are harder and harder here because they know what's at stake here. This is stage points. And stage points are very, very critical.
Yeah, everybody's trying to at least keep in the top 10, and you know, with everybody side by side like this, even an inch can be the difference between, you know, 10th and 11th. So you got to stay really tucked in, and everybody all the way back on both lines is going to be pushing as hard as they can just to gain that inch for the extra position.
Definitely right. And there's the up top there. You got Stealth Motorsports being led by Nolan Potter and Zach Schrithenthal up on that top line. They're trying to take that lead. They were almost clear. You see, they're trying to get their teammate, both of them, clear so they can get down. That's the key here. That outside line, though, is pretty tough, man. I'm telling you what, it gets some good runs, and especially when you start getting some pretty good energy build up behind you, this outside line could become very tough, as you'll see that inside line pull forward through the corners. But on these exits, that outside line, if they can build up enough energy, they will get a mega tow down this front straightaway.
Yeah, it's you know, if what we've seen in the races we've done, Zach, where if you can get a good group of guys on that outside where, you know, nobody's really having to yo-yo too much and everybody stays pretty consistently distanced between the cars, that run is just so good. It's hard for the inside lane to really make up any ground, but they're just a bit spread out right now, the inside lane able to pull out, you know, 4 cars over Nolan Potter on the outside.
Yeah, that inside line is really strong right now, getting pushed. That 23 getting pushed by that 8, and they're doing a great job of continuing to pull that gap from the top as we'll be coming near to go. 5 to go here for the stage. This is where it gets dicey, and the yellow banners need to be getting themselves up in the top 10 because there's only a few of them I see up in here right now.
Well, Zach looking at towards the back in 8th position. We've got Curtis Preston in the 29. He's looking to make it 3 wide and go to the lead potentially.
I tell you what, that 3rd lane, very, very strong. You're going to see a mega run from these guys around the top. And here it is, led by Nolan Potter. Now he jumped up in front of Curtis Preston. You got Travis Everett and GT Izzari right up there in the top lane. It's definitely going to play out here 3 wide coming to this stage. And the thing is, do you risk it? You know, you want stage points here, but do you risk being in the big one? Because I'm telling you what, one thing happens here, that's a lot of cars hurt. As you see, what a view there we got there as they go by the Talladega front straightaway through the tribal. And Robert Nestor leads that lap as he takes the lead, getting the push there, I believe, from Andrew Little. Yeah, Andrew Little in the 68.
Well, we've got Mark Thibodeau in the 2nd place on that bottom line, and the bottom just seems a little bit spread out now. They don't have quite as many cars. They're reorganizing, but that outside lane, far outside lane, is really strong now, being led by Nolan Potter. And I think they might have enough to get to him. It's just going to be a matter of somebody that's out front decides to maybe throw that block.
Blocks are going to be critical. You know, that's something we see a lot in the real life, you know, draft packages. Crazy, just I'd say moves of desperation blocks. You do see that here in iRacing, but I can tell you what, it's you can't do it as desperate as you would in real life. You will totally pay the price here in iRacing for throwing a bad block. It could be, net code doing things that net code is a thing. It happens. As look at this, the run from the two of Zach Strithenthal, but look at the outside line. Nolan Potter in the 34 getting pushed by Curtis Preston. Tell you what, the outside third lane is looking pretty tough. There we got 4 playoff cards for the Yellow Bears there. We also got there's Zach Strithenthal playoff driver, Andrew Little on the bottom playoff driver. You can see Michael Sheffield in the middle there, playoff driver. It's definitely starting to heat up here as we get down to the nitty-gritty, as there it is, 2 to go for this stage. What a month in the middle.
Yeah, I think you've just got more options in the middle through the tri-oval. You can kind of, almost cut the tri-oval a bit and get a little bit extra speed versus the guys that are kind of stuck in that third lane. They don't, have as much room that they can move around, and it really showed. They lost a lot of ground through the tri-oval in 1 and 2 that time.
Definitely did. Looking at it right now, Zach Strithenthal is our leader. It is very critical for him. He is 12th coming in here tonight, only 1 point above the cut line. He is right on the bubble. Only 1 point up. If he can get these 10 bonus points for a stage win, this will be everything. They take the white flag here for stage number 1. Let's see who comes back the leaders. Andrew Little jumps up to the top in the 68. He wants to get those 10 bonus points and get himself farther up them standings from that 10th place starting position tonight.
Yeah. Ooh, we got somebody coming out trying to lead that line, and unfortunate for the 2. The 2's going to lose a little bit of ground here, I think.
Yeah,
Campbell made a great move.
Yeah, Campbell made a great move, but I think the energy's building back up on the bottom. We'll see what happens here. Is they're going to be coming out of 4. This time will be the end of the stage, and what they cross the line will be their finishing positions. Let's see how this plays out. To the line. Your stage winner is
Yellow.
I believe Zach Strithenthal. Yes, he does. Zach Strithenthal is your stage winner. That is a critical 10 points for him. Oh, and the wrecking after the caution. Oh, no. The 68 of Andrew Little. The 16 of Matt Uprock. The 59 of Travis Everett involved. Oh, no, and huge damage for the 16 and the 68. 2 major playoff drivers here tonight. Matt Uprock, 2nd in points. Andrew Little, 10th in points. And now, that shakes up everything.
That is, from a driver's standpoint, that is extremely frustrating, but it goes to show that you can't really stop paying attention once the caution comes out. You still got to race a little bit just to make sure that everybody's got enough room.
Wow, and that's unfortunate just looking at that. That was just a good bit of net code there between the 23 and the 16. But Zach Strithenthal is your stage winner here tonight for stage number 1 at the RSR Cup Series. And we'll let him get his pit stops out of the way, and we will get a talking with him here in a few moments. But what a start for him tonight. Like I said, 12th coming in tonight on that playoff bubble. He gets those 10 nice bonus points to push him up the board. And after tonight, if he can continue to keep banking those bonus points and get a decent finish here tonight, he could be looking at a pretty nice gap going into the next race.
Zach, a quick update on that. I don't know. Yeah, it looked like it was netcode, but I believe I heard the 68 come over the radio and say that his engine blew, and that may have been the reason for the cars getting so close after the yellow.
Wow.
He was pushing pretty hard there at the end, so maybe he just overheated and blew the engine.
Very possible there, and that's Andrew Little there. He finished 3rd in that stage. He'll get the points for that, but the thing is now it's not going to play out the way he wants, because the rest of this race he's going to be, on pit road getting that motor fixed. And that's a 30-minute, at least 30 minutes, sometimes even, you're done for the day possibly. So we'll see how it plays out. But here coming down pit road, there's your stage winner, Zach Strithenthal. And after he gets off a pit road, we'll get a talking there with him and see what his thoughts are on getting them 10 bonus points here tonight and how he positioned himself there in that Stealth Motorsports number 2 Chevrolet. Gotta say, a very nice paint scheme there. I like it a lot. There he comes off pit road. We will we will get him down here in the waiting. And all right, we'll see what he has to say here about his statement. Hey, Zach, it's Zach in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Hey, buddy. Well, man, you came into tonight 12th in the points, 1 point up from that cut line. You got the 10 bonus points there. How are you feeling about that?
Man, I'm just waiting on my heart rate to come down after that. That was definitely happy about that, and thanks to my teammate Nathan for helping out there. But definitely not really the position I wanted to be in that early in the race, so we might take it a little easy here.
Yeah, I was just about to ask that. You know, the thing is, that was some intense racing there to come to the end. 3 wide. I mean, guys going through the middle, the bottom, the top. There's runs coming from everywhere. And you position yourself right there to take that stage win. So is the game plan, like you said there, now to just kind of survive and make sure you get to the end of this thing and get some decent points?
Yeah, I think so. I think I'm going to see how this shakes out here on this restart, and probably try to get myself to the back at least until at least stay competitive until the end. Got to keep this thing in one piece.
Definitely. So, Zach, congrats on that stage win, man, and hopefully we'll be talking to you on the podium maybe later tonight.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Good luck, buddy.
Thank you.
All right. That was Zach Strithenthal there, your stage winner here tonight for the stage 1 of the RSR Cup Series. Man, like he said, the heart rate, I felt that here. You know, that was intense finish, and I think he knows that if it was that intense this early into the first stage, I think his decision to get those 10 points and get back and be safe is a good decision on his part.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we see it with the 68. You got the stage points, but at what cost? You know, you don't want to go out and win this first stage and think, yeah, I've got a good cushion to earn a lot of points here, and have something happen because you stayed at the front and it's all for naught essentially. So I like his game plan here.
Definitely do. Yeah, I mean, Andrew Little, like you said, we were talking about him there. That unfortunate, really demise for him after that nice stage finish. He only came in 4 points above the cut line. I mean, the stage points, like you said, are going to help, but like you brought up also, to what cost? Now he's sitting on pit road having to get that motor worked on, and like I said, that's a long fix here in iRacing. Another playoff contender struck in by bad luck right there. The 16 of Matt Upbrook. He really got hurt by that. He was doing a great job, got him some nice stage points also, but he's only plus 15. He is second in the points coming tonight, so he had a nice 15-point gap. But the thing is, and he actually pulls it behind the wall. I thought he had pretty good engine damage, and he pulls it behind the wall. So that's going to be a night ender for the 16 of Matt Upbrook. Unfortunate for him. He's going to have to dig himself out of a hole coming into next week in Chicago.
We talked about it at the top of the broadcast, Zach. You can really dig yourself in a hole here. Like I said it before that, I'd rather start around than end around here, and this is exactly why. You don't want to have to come into a race like this needing a good finish, because more often than not, it's you've got more of a chance to get wrecked than you do really to not even win, but just finish. The odds here of getting caught up in something are so high with how close these cars run. It's a real shame, especially to have something like that happen under yellow and when you think you're safe.
Yeah, you know what they say, you're never safe at Talladega until the checkered flag comes out. So you can never doubt or never really be for sure where you're going to finish here at this racetrack, man. As Randy Cornwell will lead us back to the green as these guys pace through the tri-oval, heading to that restart zone. Green flag is back out here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting, and look at the push from the outside. That is to Nathan Campbell, the 14 of GT there, gave him a monster push, but he's going to jump down in behind that number 2 of Zach Schroeder, third car in the bottom lane. because that 52 really did not get going well.
Well, looking at it, you know, the 52's got a little bit of damage on the rear. I'm trying to check the nose of GT to see if maybe he's got a little bit of damage, but his nose looks pretty clean. I think he's still in good shape, so you'll be thanking the damage gods for that one, because that could have ruined things later in the race in a heartbeat.
Definitely good. Right now, looking on the back of our tape, there's actually a draw. Now we go back to Matthew Rush in that 11 machine. They're running in the bottom behind Michael Sheffield on the bottom. And I'm going to be interested to see if we see a similar thing to the beginning where these guys kind of, you know, I still feel the storm brewing, Kali. I still see it off in the distance. I can feel it.
Yeah, looking at you know, how that last stage ended, I think we're going to see that at the end of every stage, but they're looking a lot more racy than they were at the start of this race. I think the guys are feeling a little bit more confident with how the cars feel, how the guys around them are driving, so they're feeling okay to go ahead and push the issue here and run too wide this early in the stage.
Definitely so. Is look now the 52. Or that's the, yeah, the 52, yeah, of Nathan Campbell. Getting the push there from the 12 of Craig A. Burns. They came from pretty far back to get that lead. So he jumps down to the bottom there on Nathan Campbell there, down to that first position with Craig A. Burns on the outside, getting pushed by the 31 of Casey Coots.
And have a call over the radio that the 18 is pulling low here. There he goes. I think the reason for that is he last pit on lap 14. So he's going to have to pit here very soon. And unfortunately, I think he's going to be pitting alone, which is something you never want to do with Talladega.
I kind of question why he didn't pit under the stage there. Maybe just kind of. I mean, personally, sometimes it's easy to forget from here. You know, that's the thing. We see these drivers out here driving, but a lot of times these drivers are also their crew chief, their main strategist. I mean, you know, you got a lot going on in these cars to think about, and it's sometimes you can get blindsided and just make a simple mistake like that. And the road, you can be ended up in trouble like he is here, possibly.
And reports the 2 cars going to pull off on the backstretch as well to Zach Triple. And I think, Zach, what may have happened, and it's happened to me with the new caution laps that they've added for these bigger tracks, where he just lost count of the laps on caution and got caught out with a closed pit, just trying to lead some laps. So I think that may have been the case for the 18 car, and he's saying he's coming in this time.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Kali. That is got to be what he was trying to do, lead some laps under caution and come down that next time. But we have quickie yellows here at the 2.5 miles here now. So that's unfortunate for him. Ryan Bean getting the push from our pole setter GT in that 14. That 14, man, I'm telling you what, he's been fast. He set on the pole. He's been a great pusher. Now the 25 jumps down to the bottom of Ryan Bean there to the lead in front of Craig A. Burns. We'll see how this all plays out here. He's also got the one of Drew Hasher up top there. He came from 33rd to 6th there on the outside.
Well, personally, I'm pulling for Drew, just because he's running the number 1 car. Preferable to the 1 and the 2 of Zach Schrittenthal, numbers that I run, so I'm looking for them to do well. Yeah, I think the outside line, they're kind of taking it easy now, because once the 25 hopped down to take the lead, they lost a lot of momentum. They're not too close, and it looks like the 29's going to take a 3 wide here to try to make something happen.
Yeah, I think Curtis Preston is trying to get by that 1 there, and you're going to see Travis Everett, I believe, jump up behind him to try to push him by. And there, look, these guys are trying to all get down low now to be able to be in position for this. It looks like it starts, like you said, the outside line. That's the thing you'll notice sometimes. It just deteriorates really quickly, and it's kind of similar to what happens in real life when you jump up against the wall. You know, the bottom line will jump down there and they'll go forward for 5 or 6 laps, and then it'll deteriorate, and everybody goes right back to the wall because it's the safe spot to be. As you see, Randy Cornwell, there he is, trying to blend back into traffic after that unscheduled pit stop after trying to lead a lap under caution.
Well, the good news is that he's got the main pack. He's not going to go any more laps down, but he's going to need a caution and in that position and ride it out. He should be able to make it to the end of the stage. May get his lap back then, or he may be able to pass all the rest of these guys when they pit during this stage. So it may work out very well for him.
You are completely correct about that. He's just got to be patient, you know. You can't try to get too much down. You're already in a hole. Don't dig the hole deeper. You know, don't put the sand on top of you. Fill the hole up after you get out. So, you know, he needs to really plan his way back to getting on that lead lap. And yeah, stage points might not be in his future if we continue on to stage lap 60 here without a caution, but he can still get a decent finish if he can get back on that lead lap. And now he does get down to that bottom. As you see, he's starting to single file. You still got a little train back there of cars, but it's not enough energy, you know, being built up to really go forward.
Now they're looking like they're struggling a good bit, trying to just get something organized here and gain a little bit of speed. But they've lost a lot of ground from where they were running just a few laps ago. You know, fighting side by side with the leaders, and you know, going back to the 18, I think if I was him, you know, he can make it the rest of the stage. He doesn't have to pit again. Save some fuel while you're at it. You're not really racing anybody. Just go ahead and save some fuel. And once everybody else comes into pit, because I don't think anybody else is going to be able to make it to the end, everybody's going to have to pit. You should, even though you're running by yourself, be able to catch back up after you unlap yourself being this close to the lead, to where you could potentially finish with a top 10 for some stage points at the very least.
And we want to give a shout out to all the fans out there watching our broadcast here tonight at the RSR Cup Series. And it's been a great start to the night with stage 1 going down the track swim draw. And that number 2, we're it's really good to have, you know, some new faces out there in chat and stuff. So thank you for all your support. And yeah, we'll try to bring you the best action we can. Is looking back here, look at that action going on. That's the 3 of Bob Fitzpatrick with the 99, I believe. Daniel Gonzalez. They are all jockeying around trying to get in position here to get their way back up closer to that front.
Well, looking at the scoring here, I realized that 18 of Randy Cornwell is just side by side now with the 84 of Dustin Stalling. They are both a lap down. They are racing currently for that lucky dog should something happen. So
they are dead side by side. Actually, Dustin a little bit ahead here right now. It's like you said, that's going to be the battle for the lucky dog here if it comes down to the end of the stage or whenever we do see another caution.
So it looks like the 18 is going to have to do some racing after all. Can't just sit there and take it easy, prop your feet up. So it's not racing for much, but that lucky dog, it's a lifesaver.
That it is. Look at the push there from the 84 to the 59. They're going forward quickly. You can see it. It's so amazing to watch some of the energy start to build up and just the pace you get up. And look now, even we're starting to build that outside line again. All the way from the back, Bob Fitzpatrick is pushing. Man, oh man, look at this. The 24, Scott Taylor going forward, and Scott Taylor came into tonight 16th in points. Yeah, 24, so he needs to get some bonus points, some great points finish here tonight to be able to claw his way back into this, as he is 4 points out coming into the night of that 12th place position.
And going back to what you said before about, you know, how the line appears and then dissolves, it almost seems as though, you know, people see the line and they get a little disheartened and say, oh man, we're dropping back, so I don't want to lose any more positions. So they just try to file in line, you know, farther back, and the line pretty much disappears. Eventually, it seems that guys kind of run out of patience riding around, and then you've got, you know, 2 guys that hop out of line, and suddenly everybody else wants to go with them. And it kind of goes in cycles like that throughout these races.
That it does. It just forms a big old party line, and they go forward. And I tell you what, that 3 and the 24 came from super far back. They were near the 20th place position once they started to get hooked up together, and that's two teammates there. We must also bring up a Clutch Motorsports. So, yeah, they're trying to push up here and get and take this lead. But Ryan Bean's been doing a good job of just holding the bottom with Craig A. Burns right in tow to pushing very, very nicely here.
And looking at it, Craig's doing a really good job. You don't have to be on the bumper of the car that you're pushing. It helps. You can gain a lot of speed doing it. Just being able to maintain that foot to 2 foot gap and just push with the air. It's not going to overheat you really quickly, and you can just gain a lot of speed by being consistent and smooth.
Yeah, and you can see the outside line deteriorating. Other than Scott Taylor and Bob Fitzpatrick, the outside line is kind of quickly broken up. But I tell you what, GT's leading that outside line there with Travis Everett there in behind. And we'll see them try to claw their way back up to the back bumper of that 3 and try to make this outside line move forward as we complete lap number 48 here tonight. So we got 12 to go in this stage. We should see pit stops kicking off probably pretty soon.
Yeah, I imagine everybody, again, we talked about not wanting to pit alone. So even if guys are thinking, I can go, say for instance, 30 or 55. And if there's guys that are talking about pitting at 52, you can't take the risk of potentially getting stuck out there by yourself, so you have to go with the group. So you should see at least 2 distinct packs, I'd say, pit before the end of this stage, with the 18 staying out.
Well, another good point here is you got to think about caution laps. They had, they didn't restart here till lap 35. So that makes it a 25 lap stage instead of a 30 lap stage with the caution coming on lap 60. So that right there, it possibly opens the window up to making this. And we'll have to see who can do it. Maybe some people can't. This is where the strategy all comes into factor.
And that's a very good point, Zach. You can save quite a bit of fuel, especially if you're clutching, maybe shutting the car off, riding around under caution. The biggest thing is going to be these guys that are trying to lead these lanes. They're not going to have it burns a lot of fuel, so even everything they've saved under caution, it's going to burn it up very quickly. And I think if you even any doubt in your mind that it's going to be close on fuel, you don't risk getting you pit, especially if you're one of these guys in the playoffs, because you do not want to run out of fuel here and have to coast around. You are going to lose so many laps.
Yeah, this place, if you run out of fuel, like you said, you're just going to lose so much laps, so much time. It's it's pretty much the longest oval circuit track on the calendar. I mean, it's literally a 2.66 mile track, and it's tough to do. And we'll give a shout out to Bill Cook out there in the chat, one of our loyal followers as always. Shout out to Bill Cook out there in Newcastle, India. Newcastle, Indiana. my brain's turned to mush, guys. I'm sorry. I've been blabbing my mouth too. So I'm getting used to this announcer type deal,
And going back to the running out of fuel, it's bad enough, but we've seen it, Zach, in some of the other leagues that we've broadcast where somebody runs out of fuel. And it's not like real NASCAR where the crew will get out there and push you if you stop a little bit too early or too late. Running out of fuel, you can't just throw it in reverse and coast backwards slightly. You have to tow, and you're inches from your crew, and they can't do anything.
I cannot remember what race we broadcast here on Freaky Fast that happened to somebody. They literally ran out of gas and went too far in their box and couldn't back up. And I remember I've seen it where people would stop too short. It's like, it's just that's one of the most painful things. You have to hit your marks when you come in the box out of fuel, because if not, you are as they would say, SOL. So
yeah.
you're just gonna have to tow. But I tell you what, this is all continued on. Ryan Bean has really just done a good job to continue to lead this race with Craig A. Burns there right behind him. Those guys have been hooked up, and they have pretty much stuck together this whole time. And very, very cool to see.
Yeah, we've got Scott Taylor and GT Azari on that outside lane, and they're trying to get to the front. to maybe pick up a stage win and gain some very valuable points. But I'd also like to point out that the 18 and the 84 are right there with each other again. That battle for the lucky dog right in the mid-pack here.
Yeah, that's going to come down to really a critical time. I mean, you can think about it too, is the big thing for Randy is he can make it on fuel. You know he can hit it after giving back green. So you know Randy's making it back to the stage caution. But, you know, the other guys, it's kind of questionable. I think you would have already seen a pit if they are not very confident in making the 16. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you, Zach. You know, if especially these guys that haven't been, you know, pushing very hard, you know, maybe running 5th in line, 6th in line and back, they've probably taken into account that it might be close and have just been pedaling it just a little bit. I'm more concerned with these guys at the front. If somebody runs out of fuel, we talked about it earlier, if you run out of fuel, especially leading the line, it can end up real bad in a hurry.
It definitely can. It definitely can. And I'm interested here. You see Bob Fitzpatrick, we got him queued up here as the guy we're highlighted following in that 3. He was our points leader coming into the night and finished in stage 1. He finished 21st in stage 1, so he got no points there. I mean, he had a 16-point gap, but I mean, you can get lots of points here by getting you know, the stage points. So we'll see if he is trying to position himself here for it this time. So we'll have to see what kind of points he can pull off. But he's also got teammate Scott Taylor there, trying to get some points for his playoff ambitions.
Well, Zach, you got to figure that it's really beneficial for Bob Fitzpatrick to push that car ahead of him into the lead, because it's the difference for him from finishing the stage, you know, 4th to potentially 3rd or even 2nd if he can get him pushed out far enough. So there's no reason for him to really sit back right now, because all he's going to do is lose positions if he does.
Yeah, definitely. And with Scott Taylor in front of him, you know, trying to definitely help Scott out there as he's 6th, like I said, 16th coming into tonight. So Scott is in that last position coming into the points tonight. So if he can get a good finish here, he can move himself up a little bit, maybe, especially with some guys' misfortune here early in this race. We'll see how that plays out. And we got 4 laps to go. And stage number 2. Who's going to come back to win this? We'll have to see. Is Ryan Bean has just been really hanging on this lead on the bottom of Craig A. Burns pushing that. That 12 has been a really good push for him, is what I've noticed.
Yeah, and he's making it look pretty easy, Zach. He hasn't really needed to be very aggressive. He's just consistently keeping up that distance between the bumper and the top lane as hard as they're trying. Haven't been able to do too much. You see it at 12, you know, he's sticking his nose out every now and then, getting a bit of fresh air. Because I'm sure it's hot. The engine's getting a little bit hot, but nothing that can't easily be managed by a quick peek to the outside of 5.
I think that's something I'm also about with Patrick is actually struggling with. I noticed last time going into one, he completely ducked out a whole car length up to the 3rd lane. I was surprised that Hole didn't close up behind him, as I believe he was trying to cool that thing down here for one final push. That's the thing. If you're already hot when you go to do that final push, it's not really going to work, and you never know.
Yeah, I've noticed the same thing, Zach. He just swung out really wide, looking like he's trying to get a big bit of clean air there to cool down the car, and I thought for sure that GT was going to dive inside of him to take that position, but a bit generous on GT's part, let him file back in line there.
And our producer actually heard someone blow up, and I think that was actually Ryan on pit road in the 88, just sitting there. His car just detonated. So unfortunate for the 88 or Ryan Ezel here. So 34th position, it looks like it'll be for him tonight. Unfortunate. But man, oh man, it's about to pop off here as we're going to be coming to the white flag for stage number 2 this time. Let's see who makes it back and gets those critical stage points.
Well, we had Fitzpatrick. He gave Taylor a huge push down the backstretch, but it's just not quite enough. They got a bit disconnected through 3 and 4, and looks like they're going to come home 3rd and 5th for this stage if they don't get it going. I mean, they're losing a good bit of time on those 3 guys in the bottom lane. I don't know. Maybe it's a little bit too late.
Glad to see the charge here coming down the back straightaway. It's a big run there from Scott Taylor. The help of teammate Bob Fitzpatrick there with GT in line, also with Travis Everett.
Big push.
Is a big run. Can they get the final run they need coming off of 4? I told you, I think this was they cooled these things down, ready for this run. He's given the final push he can. Don't make the same mistake Andrew Little unfortunately made and blow this thing up trying to get those points. But here we come through the tribal. Who's going to win stage number 2? Looks like Ryan Bean. Well, hold on. Man, oh man, Scott Taylor finished in 2nd in that stage. Craig A. Burns 3rd. Bob Fitzpatrick 4th. Daniel Gonzalez is 5th. GT Izari is 6th. 7th is Travis Everett. And 8th, Casey Kuntz. 9th is Nathan Campbell. And 10th is Michael Sheffield. So some playoff drivers there getting their stage points like they need. And congratulations to Ryan Bean for Fly Boys Racing getting the win here in stage number 2. And this caution is brought to you, stage caution is brought to you by Sheffield, or sorry about it, or Nissan Central. Our 2nd stage of the night. And yeah, man, I'm telling you what, now we got 50 laps to the end of this race. The gloves are going to come off. It's pretty much now we're going to set up for the race-winning dash. And I tell you what, these guys have put on a heck of a show tonight. No cautions due to wrecks. All these cautions, the 2 cautions we've had so far, stage cautions. What a show we've seen.
Well, Zach, it's been a lot of really close, hard racing, but like you said, no cautions. They've been giving each other plenty of room for even, running 3 wide at the end of that first stage. And I think, you said the gloves are going to come off. This last stage is a little bit longer at 50 laps to take us to the end. And they're going to come off, but I think they're going to slowly come off. It's not going to be until, maybe the last 20 laps where you should see guys pushing the issue. I'd be taking it easy if I was in their position. And it looks like, unfortunately, back to the battle between the 84 and the 18. I think the 84 is going to get that lucky dog position over at the 18 of Randy Cornwell.
That is so, oh man, that's unfortunate for Randy Cornwell. Definitely needed a break there as we're not getting cautions here tonight. So you can, he definitely is going to need one to get back in position to definitely have a good points night here tonight. But man, oh man, what a win there in stage number 2 for Ryan Bean. And going through here, I'm looking through these guys' Discord. I do not see Ryan Bean in the Discord here. Well, actually, I see him now. I completely just went over Ryan Bean's name. There's Team Fly. I should have looked in Team Fly. I'm not on my A game there like Ryan was there in that stage as he comes out of the pit stalls. Mr. Ryan Bean about his thoughts on stage number 2 and getting that victory here. All right, so here he is. Hey, Ryan and Zach in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, Ryan, what a stage 2 for you tonight here, man. You really dominated that stage 2. Once you were able to get up front with Craig A. Burns there behind you in the 12, you guys really stuck together good there on the bottom. And you were able to hold off any advancement they had on the outside line there. How does it feel to win stage number 2 here tonight at Talladega?
Yeah, it feels awesome. First of all, thanks to, I think the first 6 cars on the bottom, I'm not too sure, were all my teammates. So thank you to all of them. But it's finally nice to win a stage win. The last 2 races, I feel like I've been owed one, but I've had a few mental errors that have caused me. So this really feels good.
Yeah, definitely a great run for you there, man. We're going into the final stage of tonight, the last 50 laps. What is your strategy and how you feeling about maybe trying to pull off a victory here and get your first victory of the season?
It would be awesome if I could win. The same strategy pretty much, just find my teammates, stick with that. And, I wasn't going to move up even if those guys had a run. I was just gonna keep my line, trust in my teammates, and I think we're the best pushers in the whole field. So I'm excited for this final stage.
Awesome stuff there, Ryan, man. Congrats on the stage victory here for stage number 2 at Talladega for the RSR Cup Series, man. Congrats, like I said, on that. And like you said, the team game is going to be important. So stick with your teammates, man, and hopefully we'll be talking to you at the end of this race.
Sure. Thank you.
Good luck, buddy. And there you go, Ryan Bean, our winner tonight for stage number 2. You can hear it in his voice. He was definitely very relieved and happy to be working with his teammates. And that's what I said coming in tonight. With the structure this league has, the teamwork and the teams they have, this was almost something I really foreseen coming into tonight, where one team is going to get in position and they're just going to stick together through thick and thin, and it was going to weather most of the storms. And that's what we've seen with the team of Flyboys Racing there. So congrats to them on a heck of a stage number 2 and great teamwork. The outside line fought really hard there with Clutch Motorsports, with Bob Fitzpatrick and Scott Taylor, to try to get there. They did everything they could, but they have kind of separated them a little bit now that we start on that second row. I'm interested to see how all of this last 50 laps of this race play out. I tell you what, like you said, Brandon, the gloves are going to come off, but they'll probably start to slowly come off. These guys have been super smart tonight. They haven't put themselves in terrible positions, but they've raced super hard. And that's all we can really ask for from a show point of view, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's always entertaining to watch. You know, it's nail biting, because you never know if you're going to see a push and it's going to knock a car out of whack. You know, these guys they're pushing for all it's worth, short of caving in the bumper on the car in front of them. And, you know, in an instant, it could go from pushing for the lead to, 20 cars just getting piled up in any given part of the track. So these guys have been doing a fantastic job, and it's been exciting to call this race.
That it has. And man, the pace car lights are off. We're pacing through 3 and 4. We're going to get the action back, ready to start it up. This race has been nothing but action-packed, hard side-by-side racing, and really just smart stuff. I like Talladega is a place where you see some, I don't want to say it, but some dumb moves made by drivers. But I don't think I've seen a dumb move all night tonight. There's been some amazing moves, some smart plays, and let's see how it plays out as this pace car pulls off to the left, and these guys will go down onto the restart zone.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It's been a lot of really smart moves and heads up driving by these guys. Let's hope it continues all the way to the finish in this last stage of 50 laps.
Here they are approaching the restart zone for possibly the final time tonight. This is our third restart. Here it is, green flag back in the air. Ryan Bean takes off. Bob Fitzpatrick in tow behind that 3 with Craig A. Burns on the outside in that 12 machine.
Well, Zach, you notice on the restart that the outside didn't quite get going. I'm not sure if maybe that was a bit intentional to try to file teammates in line, but right now the first 4 cars are staggered teammates, so I think they're going to be looking to maybe make something work here.
You're exactly right. I think you're going to see something happen here. I mean, you know, Bob Fitzpatrick didn't put himself in the lead through this whole long season, not without being smart. He's positioned himself right here in the second place. We seen earlier tonight he finished top 3 in the ARCA series. Very smart driver. So we'll see what he can do as these laps close out here at Talladega. Looking over that bumper, Craig A. Burns says, "You know what? I want to get back to the back bumper of Ryan." And we know that they work really good together, but we'll see how it all plays out. Nothing right now is really playing out from behind. We got a few guys jumping up high, but mostly people just staying in line, decided to as I say that, really starting to form outside line.
Yeah, I just don't think with those 2-3 cars it's going to be enough to get up to the front for how well organized the bottom lane is. But going back to the teammates, I think the 3, he's exactly where he wants to be. He's keeping Ryan and Craig separated, seeing how well they work together, and when it comes down to it, if they can stay in that position, he's got the opportunity that his teammates can see him hop out, to try to make that pass and go right along with him. Granted, Craig is right behind Bob, so he's got an opportunity to then fall right in line and push his teammate like he was in the second stage. So it's a lot of games getting ready to be played here towards the end, and we'll see how it plays out.
Yes, sir. That's very true. As you've seen Scott Taylor, he jumped up to the outside in that 24 to try to get in that top lane. He used it very well last run. And look, there's Randy Cornwell again in the 18. Looks like he'll be going. Oh, it looks like he'll go a lap down. I believe he may have took the wave around and then pitted. Yeah. Oh, he will definitely be in lucky dog position this time, though, Brandon. He's fighting guys that are 2 laps down. He'll be 1 lap down here. So if he can get that caution, not saying I expect caution, but at some point, Talladega, she's waiting just to tear him up at some point, and we'll have to see if that comes to fruition.
Well, we saw a lot of close racing with the stages, Zach, and like you said, you don't want there to be a caution. But throughout this race so far, they've been aggressive. But it's a lot of aggression, understanding exactly how much further in the race they need to go to the end. So I'm sure there have been some moves that have been second-guessed to just not potentially put themselves in a position to get wrecked at the end. Gloves coming off, they're going to go, and those moves, are going to get more and more aggressive. And aggression sometimes breeds mistakes, and mistakes lead to cautions.
That is for sure. As we look back through the field here, Daniel Gonzalez up there on the top lane, that 99, the beautiful paint he's got on there, very colorful. There's he drops down to the middle lane in front of Michael Sheffield, behind Curtis Preston.
Randy Cornwell there about got to the side of the 5 and just did everything he could to keep it out of the wall after he avoided the contact. So could have went from bad to worse from him, but no worse for the wear, I'd say. Maybe a little shaken up under the helmet.
Yeah, it definitely can get shaken up under the helmet. Look at this, Nathan Campbell. This ain't the first time we've seen this today. He's up to the lead now again, getting pushed up there in that top lane. And look, Nolan Potter too, another playoff contender, getting himself up here as he pushed up to the front there in that first stage. Didn't see much on stage 2, but there he is, and getting pushed by that 14 also, a GT who's just been really one of the really strong pushers here tonight. You usually, if he's in the line, you usually see it go forward.
Well, Zach, I think that's a lot to do with the little bit of contact he had on the restart. I think it did a slight bit of damage to his nose, and as we know with these Cup cars, a little bit of damage really affects you being able to lead a line. So he's kind of relegated to just being a pusher at this point, but he's been really consistent up there, being second or third car in line. So good positions for him.
Look at this field as they go down to turn 1 here as we look on at Daniel Gonzalez in the 99 machine. He's got Brock Potter there in the bottom in front of him. Michael Sheffield there. You can see the yellow banners everywhere. They're all together, all the playoff drivers. As you got most of them up in the top lane there. Up front too, Nolan Potter there, pushing hard on the back of that 52 Nathan Campbell.
Well, you'll see a lot of the playoff guys up at the top because they're the ones that are wanting to make the moves. And unfortunately here, if you're on the bottom, especially when it gets too wide like it is up at the top 10 to 15, there's not a lot of options for you to go anywhere. You're just kind of stuck riding. And when you need positions, you can't afford to do that. So they're being aggressive, just trying to get up there and maybe go 2 or 3 wide, trying to gain something.
Definitely so. And it's a lot of guys I think are thinking, some of these guys are thinking big picture races. Some of these guys are thinking, if I can get a great amount of points here tonight, especially such a wild card of a track, then I can go to somewhere where it's not a wild card and I can continue what I've done throughout the season and continue to build on this. So this place can be a place where you can say, I just want to get decent points. But if you can get a great points night here, it can be a huge help in getting to that next round.
Oh, absolutely. It's such an easy track to just say, okay, I just want a good finish. And you don't even try to be aggressive to get to the front. You just try to, you know, finish top 10. Solid points day. But the fact that anybody can win this race, it doesn't really matter where you start. It's easy to go out and potentially win. You know, it's up for grabs by anybody in the field. So you can gain a lot of points, but just the nature of plate racing, it's even easier to lose a lot. So sometimes it's better to just be that neutral ground and say, you know, top 10's not that bad. We'll take it.
As we look at the leaders, all 2x2 up front, the pushes are getting stronger, the runs are getting faster. And I tell you what, the patience is getting thinner. So we need to watch this as, man, it's starting to really get wild here. So look at Scott Taylor jump to the high side. I think he's going to get hung out to dry there in that 24. Yeah, as Curtis Preston comes in behind teammate GT there, Izari, as we go down the back straightaway.
Well, I'll be looking for teammates there to potentially go 3 wide and maybe take the lead on that outside lane and jump across the 52. But we've got a lap car coming up, so I think they may hold off on that just a little bit longer.
And that is Gavin Ruff, 112. He is already 2 laps down, so that will not affect the lucky dog. He'll be here soon. These guys will be catching him. We'll have to see how they navigate, because they are in some spots 3 cars wide.
Yeah, going through the tri-oval looked like 34 maybe saw something he didn't like and swung wide to, you know, maybe give himself some space in case something happened below him, and fell out of line and could not quite get back down. So we're going to lose a few positions here, but nothing too bad. Still well within reach of the lead.
Definitely well within the reach here. You see the lap car pull down to the apron. He's moving down the back straightaway. Good stuff on Kevin there. Man, that, I'm telling you what, Ryan Bean has been strong on the bottom line all night. There he will pull up to his lead. See if he'll be able to pull off his first victory here tonight. As I actually have to look real quick, make sure, but I want to look and see where he was at in points coming here tonight. I know he did not make the playoffs. Let's see where he's at points wise. Looks like he came in here 39th in points. Yes, so this is only his 3rd start, I believe, too. So that'd be a heck of a job by him to get his first victory here at RSR in his 3rd start.
You know, definitely keep that win percentage up. 33% win percentage is always good on paper, so I'm sure he's chomping at the bit to get that win. But right now, you know, it's got his teammate getting pushed on the outside. It's the 14 of Zari's.
Oh.
Ooh, looking to make it 3 wide, go for the lead.
GT going for it. He got really Craig out the way there. He got Nathan Campbell out the way. Got teammate Curtis Preston there behind him. We'll see what these two can do to work together. You know, these two were fast here up here earlier. As you see, a little oohs and ahs going on here as we settle it out. Looks like the 52 got a little bit loose there in turn 2, a little bit wiggly. And man, it's starting to stack up again. The energy starting to build up in this pack. And we're going to be coming around to complete lap 77 here of 110.
Zach, looking at it, you know, that was probably the worst thing, having the 12 shuffled back as far as it was for Ryan Bean. You know, his teammate that was pushing him so well, yeah, he's not going to be able to help him now. He's kind of at the mercy of the 3 being able to push him and hold off 14 and 29 on the outside.
And the 14, I think they're trying to get teammates clear here. That's the goal. Look at Scott Taylor coming up the outside with no help.
And look at 3rd in line on the outside. He's trying to get his lap back the hard way.
He thought about sticking it in the middle there. Man, just so you guys know, we have our producer Robert Moore up here in the background, and he's saying, man, it's starting to heat up a little bit, and I think the pot is starting to simmer, as old Brian Johnson, Johnson term. it's starting to simmer right now. We're not to like a full boil yet, but it's just simmering. It's getting there. We're not rolling bowling yet. And man, the pushes are getting tough. As you see Ryan Bean have a little bit of wiggle there when pushing the 3. You can tell these guys are really trying to keep their position and not let that line get in front of them.
Randy Cornwell looking to go to that 3rd lane with the 24 behind him and unlap himself.
Yeah, that's 2 Clutch Motorsports teammates too. So maybe Scott Taylor can push his teammate up to the lead, get him on the lead lap, and then maybe take the lead. Hey, it's always fine to finish behind your teammate here, as long as they're on the tail end of the lead lap, I guess, right?
Yeah, I mean it's beneficial for both of them. Randy's able to get his lap back, and 24 he can go up there and lead and just push and not really worry about too much, as he's still got the lead, still leading laps.
Look at this shake up here. 3 jumps out of line. Bob Fitzpatrick says it's time to go. He jumps out of line in front of GT in that 14. See what kind of run they can build. This is some big momentum being built. Look at Randy Cooper all there by himself. We're seeing that top lane. One car really able to do something up there for a little bit as these little stack ups happen. You run on the back of the car, you can't stay in the gas fully. If you never lifted here, you would see wrecks every lap. Guys have to be very, very patient with the accelerator and be smart about it. So the 18 tried to get in line there, and I think that would have been catastrophic, as they say, if that would have happened. And I think that's another lap car of Junior Miller there. Yeah, it also is 2 laps down there in 27th. That could have been big.
Yeah, as a lap car, you want to get yourself in a position to get your lap back. The last thing you want to do is cause a problem for the rest of the leaders, potentially cause a wreck. So I think he might be just taking it easy now, reorganizing.
While that happened, he jumped to the lead. Bob Fitzpatrick to help with the Hard and Curtis Preston. Those 3 jumped in front of Ryan Bean and now lead the top line. And look at this, the run from Randy Corwell through the back of the 24 teammate Scott Taylor in the middle. As the outside line is starting to deteriorate as the front 3 leading the outside line jump down from the inside line.
Well, the 3 car leading the field at Talladega. Never would have imagined that, huh?
Especially Wheaties Goodwrench. I mean, car what do you expect? I mean, that's just bound to happen at some point. Is that Wheaties? I might be wrong.
No, that is the Wheaties car. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, I was just making sure. I know it was the Orange 3. I figured it was. But you knew it was going to happen at some point. But look here, GT says, I don't know if I'm satisfied. I mean, but that could also be his, the little duck outs like that. That could be getting air. If you want to be able to push well, you got to have a car that is not right on board. This is our pole setter here from tonight, all over the back bumper of Bob Fitzpatrick, our points leader. Look at the separation there. Here comes the 24 with the pushing teammate Randy Cornwell up around the top. Can Scott Taylor take the lead? He is clear, but does he want to pull a teammate? No, he does. He goes down. That's a smart decision. He needs to get down there quickly if he wants to be able to take that lead. He jumps in front of Bob Fitzpatrick. Now Scott Taylor getting pushed by Craig A. Burns. Randy Cornwell getting pushed by Craig A. Burns on the top line. Let's see if he can get his lap back the old-fashioned way and get ahead of these guys.
Well, in all of that, Zach, Ryan Bean hopped out behind his teammate in the 12 car of Craig Burns, and I don't think that's what the rest of these guys want to see, considering how strong they were running earlier in the second stage. So they've finally been able to reconnect.
Look at Scott Taylor there. Got to remember Scott Taylor, Bob Fitzpatrick, both are teammates also. So that is some Clutch Motorsports cars that are leading the bottom. Craig A. Burns pushing Randy Cornwell well. Can he clear his teammates? He does. He pulls down. That is 3 Clutch Motorsports cars in the bottom lane leading, and that is Randy Cornwell back on the lead lap for now.
Yeah, for now, and as we've seen, stuff happens in a hurry here. The difference between 10th and 5th, it's a matter of half a tenth gets back. So positions change in a hurry.
That they do here on the start of lap number 85. We got 6 to go. What a race we've seen here tonight. It is literally one of the most fantastic Talladega races I have had the pleasure to broadcast, and I am excited to see how this is all going to play out. This action-packed side-by-side racing, I'm expecting something crazy coming down to the end.
Well, you know, the best thing here on the inside lane, look at the front, you know, with the 3 teammates, they're not going to worry about jumping out. You know, he can ride in the front in the 18 and not, you know, worry about the guys behind him jumping out to, you know, put him another lap down. He's got to worry about maybe the 12 and 25 potentially hopping in front of him here, but his teammates, I'm sure, are going to be pushing as hard as they can, one, to keep themselves in the lead and make sure he doesn't go another lap down.
Great information there from our main man, Brandon Kiley, up here in the booth. Man, it's been so much fun here. Look at Brock Potter here running the 19th position there in the 4 car. He is one of our playoff contenders. As now look, like you said, up front, Ryan Bean and Craig A. Burns. Look at this. They're pushing. They clear. Wow. What a power move.
Well, Zach, that was due to Scott Taylor just got into the back of the 18 a little off center, got him out of shape, and just tried to slow down and let him get back in line, and allowed Craig Burns and Ryan Bean to really jump out to a nice lead. But look, now we've got these guys looking to make it 3-car tandem on the outside here and get back to the lead.
This is getting awesome. And look, it's starting to single file out. You got the 18 and Randy Cornwell there who jumped out of line to try to get a run on the outside of these other guys. You got Junior Miller in the 28, but you also have Michael Sheffield, who's been kind of quiet all night, lurking in the back after starting 3rd. He's up there in that 12th position up high there, or now in 9th up high. But yeah, he's all alone though. That's the only problem, is a lot of these guys have decided to pull back down, but I don't expect that for long. We've seen it all night. They run in line for 5-10 laps, and then all craziness breaks loose.
Well, Zach, I am getting information over the radio. The 12 is planning to pit this time by Craig Burns. I'd imagine Ryan Bean is going to go right on with him. Got the 31. Casey, he's coming in. A lot of guys are planning on coming in this time.
This will be their final pit stop of the night. 23 to go. They can make it to the end here, so that's definitely a game strategy here, as you see Scott Taylor and Randy Cornwell have jumped out to the outside knowing that these guys are going to pit. Here they come. 12 of Craig A. Burns, 25 of Ryan Bean, and also a good bit of other cars. Huge amount of cars pin here with 23 to go at Talladega.
Well, unfortunately, it caused a bit of a gap from 5th position back with Nathan sitting in 6th. He's got a good bit of distance. I don't think he's got the draft on these guys ahead of him. So that pit stop there caused a good bit of separation.
That it did. Good bit of separation, that is for sure. These front 6 cars have certainly broken away a good bit here. As that's Scott Taylor, Randy Cornwell, Bob Fitzpatrick, GT Azari, Curtis Preston, and I believe that is the last one, Chad Lucy.
Calls on the radio. This back group looks like they're all going to be in. Part 78 looks like.
They are coming up the road. 22 to go. Looks like these front 6 have decided to stay out. Continue on.
Well, now we've got Craig and Ryan just now about to hit turn 3.
That was almost dangerous. Daniel Gonzalez pulled up onto the racetrack, and it was right in front of Scott Taylor. They had to make a basic maneuvers to get around him as they come by to lap these guys. But they're not going to this time, or very soon. Sorry. Oh, there they come. Oh, and the 14 almost into the back of the 24. Wow.
I'll tell you what, looking at Bob Fitzpatrick, he did a really good job. He got stuck on the outside there, wanting to pit with the rest of his team, and very nearly got into some trouble there, but somehow managed to get it down on pit road, didn't speed, and looks like a clean entry to his box.
It was very clean entry, Bob Fitzpatrick, and I tell you what, very dangerous pit road to enter when you're in that group of cars like that. You're slowing down from 200 mile an hour down the pit road speed, and it's not very easy. These cars don't have a big brake package on them. We go to the other tracks, the brakes on them are so much bigger, just due to the fact of you're using the brakes. Here you want to have as little brakes as possible that can have as least amount of friction in that wheel. So very interesting. It's GT. Oh no, GT loses it in the 14. That's going to be a penalty for him. Big mistake here on the final pit stop. Very easy to do. Cold tires. When you leave pit road, your tires just lose all the temp, and that exit of pit road here, something about these plate tracks, you have no grip. None at all.
And I've been a victim of that myself, Zach, in one of our Talladega races, just slightly catching the banking and having to come in. And penalty under green here is catastrophic and pretty much ends any chance you have at a victory, especially as clean as these guys have been running without the cautions.
He stays out this time, so interesting if he tries to catch up to the pack, then pit, maybe to try to gain some time at least by staying here in the pack. But that is unfortunate for our pole setter here tonight at Slide Job Racing. Man, oh man, I feel for him there. That's such an easy mistake to make.
Yeah, he's got 3 laps to come in and serve that penalty, so it's not necessarily a bad. Oh, as we say that, he calls over the radio that he's going to be pitting this time, letting the guys that are directly behind him know that he's going to be slow.
And so, yes, he'll be coming down this time. That is a heartbreaking moment for the 14. Oh wow, we just had the fastest lap of the race turning over here from our producer. Fastest lap of the race. Zach Schrudenthal. This last time by, they're running in the 5th position there with teammate Nathan Campbell right behind Bob Fitzpatrick, Curtis Preston, and Ryan Bean and Craig A. Burns, as that top 6 has broken away to about a second lead over there, but that gap should close in quickly there with Brock Potter, Nolan Potter, Scott Taylor, and Harold Watkins.
Yeah, they had a big lead, but sometimes with the single file, you got guys, mid-pack of that line that are having to check up for guys in front of them. The accordion's really bad, but these guys in the back lane have already caught them, and they're spread out, so they're not having to lift whatsoever.
Very much so. Look at this train of cars down the back straightaway. These are the guys with 17 laps to go who have a good shot at this victory. And oh man, who is that on the 8?
Harold Watkins.
Oh yes, it was Harold Watkins. He is a playoff driver. He's a
Great heads-up driving by these guys. That could have been disastrous for those guys in the front pack.
Another fast lap being turned by Randy Cormo here, 47.85. So times are picking up here. Randy Cormo still a lap down, running that 26th position. He's going to need caution here to get that himself back on the lead lap. But man, oh man, he's got some speed. He's right up front there, leaders for most of this race.
Well, Zach, we've got 78 of Kevin Sibylla. Excuse me. They've got a little bit of a gap to this lead pack, but I think they're slowly creeping up on them here. And now with this bigger line on the inside, even more checking up. So if they can get a big enough check up, they should be there in a lap.
Yeah, the thing about it is like the farther away like those cars are, he's starting to get a pretty big toe, like you said. Within 2 seconds, that toe you get from that far back is pretty crazy, because you got to think about it, he's not checking up. Like you said, that bottom lane's checking up multiple times, as actually we have an attack forming on the outside now for the lead of Bob Fitzpatrick, but we should definitely see this pack of the 78 led here by Kevin Similar. Probably start to move their way back up towards that front pack as Bob Fitzpatrick there jumps outside with looks like Zach Schrudenthal there in tow too. So yeah, it's starting to heat back up for the lead, 2 by 2, and that'll help that pack behind even more.
Yeah, they've got pretty well settled out in the front, 2 by 2 all the way through, looks like, and I'm not sure now if they can keep it going. That you know, as we saw in our last Talladega race, for some reason when they get side by side like that, the pack overall just seems to be much quicker. And with 4 cars in that back pack with the 78, they may not have enough. But as I say that, I look back and they've gotten pretty close, so they may be well within the draft now. That just that sniff of air is going to be enough to keep them up with this lead pack and potentially get back to fighting for the lead.
Yeah, and they should get a massive run coming to them also, so we'll have to see what they do with that run. As they start to catch, it should build up, but tell you what. Oh no, there's the first wreck we're going to see, guys. Oh, there is the caution is out. The 4 of Brock. Whoa. Oh man, the 17 of Kevin Zalibdo. Also, Brock Potter involved. The 5 of Michael Sheffield. Harold Watkins. So multiple playoff drivers. 3 playoff drivers in this wreck. And it all started around the 4 of Brock Potter.
Well, it looked like, unfortunately, just a little bit of an aggressive bump from Scott Taylor mid-corner. Got him in the left rear. Brock Potter in the left rear. And it's that easy. These cars do not like that left rear getting touched. It's so easy to get a car sideways.
That is a fact. And here we're going to ride the 17 as this is our or Nissan Central caution replay here from Freaky Fast. Look at this, man. He is just spinning like a top, and then when he gets hit the next time, he takes off like SpaceX. It's he was trying to lift off there, as you can see here coming. And it's Michael Sheffield who just catches him right in the quarter panel. Look at that. Tony Hawk would be envying those spins. Unfortunate ending of the night for a few drivers. But man, oh man, our first wreck we have seen here tonight. Wow, with 12 laps to go, it all starts to kick off. And guess what now, guys? We have 26 cars going to be on the lead lap, as I think Randy Cornwell will be our lucky dog finally. I think he'll breathe a sigh of relief finally to get back on the lead lap. And we will have 26 cars on the lead lap with a chance to win this race.
Well, that's exactly right. And I don't know if we're gonna have a chat with anybody in the field under this caution, but if we do, I'd like to have Randy get pulled down to talk about that and finally getting put back on the lead lap. But not only that, the caution happened directly in front of him that allowed him to get back on the lead lap.
Yeah, we can definitely let's see if we can find Mr. Randy Cornwell, and we will see down here to the waiting room. And we'll get talking here with him, see what his thoughts are on finally getting back on that lead lap. Hey, Randy, it's Zach in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, buddy. What's up?
Oh, man, it's going good up here. I'm guessing you're finally pretty happy to finally get back on the lead lap here, getting that lucky dog.
Oh, you know it. I've been looking for that for a long time. I screwed up, got off sequence, tried to lead a lap, get the points. Now we'll go see if we can win it.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
fast
for
enough.
sure. Yeah, definitely. That's what I was about to say to you. You know, you've been up there multiple times this race, just unfortunately been a lap down. I mean, you know, you've been right there with the lead pack, battling in there, trying to get that lap back. And congrats on finally getting that back. What's the plans coming here to the end? Just go for the win?
Yep, just going for it. There's a hole, I'm going.
Awesome, Randy. Well, good luck to you, buddy. And we will hopefully maybe be talking to you after this race and the podium finish, man.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it.
All right, guys, that was Randy Cornwell from Clutch Motorsports there. And he's finally back on the lead lap. I'm sure he is excited about that, as you heard from him. And like you said, Brandon, it's go time for him. And we've seen him be quick all night. He's been up there. So another person, actually, I didn't even think about this. Our pole setter GT in the 14. He gets a new lease on life with this, as I would say. You know, he pretty much, it resets his penalty because he did not go a lap down. He's going to restart there about 21st. Man, this could get interesting because I'm telling you what, 11 laps. We'll be going green with about 9 to go, I'd say. A lot of things can happen in 9 laps.
Well, you know, you've got a bunch of these guys in the back that, like you said, got a new lease on life. They're right back in the chance to win this thing, getting their laps back and overcoming some penalties. Unfortunately, there's only, realistically 3 lanes you can choose, and there might come some issues, guys butting heads trying to take up positions in those lanes, and it can get dicey in a hurry. So patience, but as we said earlier, I think at this point it's safe to say that the gloves have officially come off.
Yeah, those gloves have been thrown out. They're burned. They're stepped on. They're not in use anymore. This is this is the nitty gritty, as I'd call it. You're gonna do everything you can to get the win here now that you've made it this far. The thing is, we just seen our first wreck. It was a decent sized wreck, but also the thing is, this could get pretty crazy as we're gonna be coming to 9 to go when we take the green flag.
Yeah, there's still a lot of cars on the lead lap, a lot of cars that are, up to full power, minimal damage. Most of it seems to be on the rear end for a lot of these guys. And still, everybody, I think, out here that's on the lead lap is capable of winning this race. If there's a late caution, you just kind of almost have to close your eyes and hope you make it through and see the other side and rack them back up and start again. But, maybe we won't see it. And looking for a good finish here. Maybe they'll be 3 wide across the line for a photo finish. That'd be awesome.
That would be one heck of a way to end this amazing race we've had here tonight. Man, oh man, what a race we've seen. The thing is now, you got Craig A. Burns and Ryan Bean who worked together all night. Does Ryan get a slower restart on that bottom to try to let that 12 in? That's my thought process here. I think that's what you're going to see. I could be wrong, but I think that's what you're going to see. I think if you're a 3, you're going to be saying, nope, you're going to go. I'm going to make sure you go. But we'll have to see about that too. But, man, it is going to be exciting. Everybody, hold on to your seats.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Normal conditions, if they were starting, when they the leader opted to start, he may delay it a little bit to let his teammate get in front. But if I'm the 3, I'm going to be on the bumper and you're going to go. Or if you don't, you're probably going to get turned. So I don't think the 25 is going to have much choice here.
Definitely not as they get close to the restart zone here. Nearing it, and green flag is in the air. Barney waves that flag as fast as he can. Look at the 12 with a great restart. It worked out perfectly. 12 and 25 pulled that move off like they practiced it all week.
Unfortunately, Bob just left a little bit too much room as he's going to go to the high side here and try to take the lead the long way around the track. And see him do it earlier, so we know it's possible.
That's very true, and that lost a lot of energy there for that bottom lane, getting that 3rd car to dip out. They had only 2 cars pushing. Now comes the number 2, our stage 1 winner, the Zach Rhythm. So we got stage 2 winner Ryan Bean 2nd there in the bottom lane, 3rd in lane, our stage 1 winner. So could we see one of those 2 pull it off? It's going to be interesting to see here as we come to 8 to go this time by at Talladega for the RSR Cup Series.
Well, you mentioned Zach riding in 3rd on that inside lane. I think he's going to be pushing Craig and Ryan as hard as he can because he needs to be able to clear Bob 3 on the outside to even have a chance to go for the lead. Otherwise, he's just going to be pinned down there and have to settle for, potentially 5th or 6th.
You took the words out of my mouth. In this position, you're just trying to clear that outside line if you're one of the cars in that bottom lane to be able to jump out there and be able to make a move for that victory.
Yeah, I mean, you by all means can try to muscle your way between that car outside of you and the car ahead of you, but it gets really dicey. Especially, not everybody runs triple monitors or VR, so limited view is going to hinder that.
And you don't want to do it too early here. Coming to 7 to go this time. You want to be in position. Oh, and there's a wreck, guys. Oh no, and our Ford Nissan Central caution comes out for the 4th time tonight. 2nd wreck caution. And there's David Hall in the 21 for Flyboys Racing. Unfortunate for him. Heavy hit. We'll go back
GT is already unfortunate damage there. He's missing his front clip, so I think that might be race over for his chance to win here, Zach.
Yeah, you can see there the 14 right behind the 21 of David Hall. And boom, the David Hall, the 21, gets into the back of the 11 of Matthew Rush. Sends him down to Daniel Gonzalez. And from there, it's a chain reaction. The 14 involved. The 13 involved. Multiple car accident here at Talladega within the final 10 laps. Our 2nd wreck we've seen here tonight. And man, oh man, this just re-racks them back up to where we get even more nervous energy built up for this final run to the end.
Well, a lot of these guys are getting another chance to, maybe formulate where they're going to run, but unfortunately, Craig Burns, Ryan Bean, the 1-2 again, they're going to be able to try to play the same strategy they did on the last restart. Bob Fitzpatrick not quite able to get to that outside lane to take over 2nd. But I want to point out what a great job Robert Nestor did avoiding that wreck in the 8 car. Managed to squeak by, didn't look like he hit anything, and now he's saying a prayer, I'm sure, in the car there.
Yeah, it's in Talladega. Sometimes you got to close your eyes and make it through some of these wrecks. Sometimes it's down to just the racing gods, and sometimes they bite you, sometimes they help you. So unfortunate for a few drivers, especially our playoff guys like GT. They're involved in that incident. The 11 of Matthew Rush. It's definitely a tough position to be in at the end of this race here at Talladega, but it could be worse at the end of the day. You could have got knocked out early in this race and got no stage points, as I believe both those guys did get stage points at some point in this race. And they'll go into next week and try to rebound, as they were both 3rd and 6th in the points there tonight. So they were pretty far up in those points. It's just, sometimes Talladega bites you, and it's never a nice one when it does.
Yeah, Talladega is in fact a cruel mistress. GT and some of these other guys that have caught some sort of problem better late in the race. They did get the stage points. It's hard to swallow that this close to the end you get taken out, but stage points help a little bit. It could have been worse. So you just kind of got to take it for what it's worth, I suppose.
Now, with 5 laps to go in this race, this is where your heart starts pounding, your palms start sweating, your knees are itchy.
Mom spaghetti.
Yeah, you know where I was going with it. I'm glad you finished it. Hopefully nobody vomits on their sweater, though. That would be terrible. I wish that on nobody. But this is where it gets intense, man. This is where the crazy moves are gonna have to be played out. When it comes down to these late race restarts like this, you don't have as much time to build up a run and plan it out. So you gotta kind of go with what you got. And sometimes it involves a team member, and if you can get hooked up with a teammate, that's always awesome. But I tell you what, after 5 laps to go, you throw teammates out the window.
Yeah, sometimes you just can't afford to, maybe lift or something like that to get hooked up with a teammate just because there's so little time left. It takes about a full lap for these things to get really wound up and try to formulate, where a potential run could come from, try to find yourself a good position in line, and then just think ahead to what could happen, where you need to be. So sometimes you just gotta go by yourself and you apologize after the race and the team meeting.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. They'll understand. If they're your teammate, they'll understand you going for the win. That's the way I look
Now, if you wreck your teammate trying to go for the
at it. They
win,
ain't gonna understand that very much.
it's going to be a little bit different conversation. So, I'm sure Ryan and Craig are going to be, pushing hard, but I think they'd definitely rather finish, top 5 than on the hook.
And for both these drivers, it would be their first win of the season. So you got 2 non-playoff drivers here up in the top 2. You also got Nathan Campbell there in 7th, who's not a playoff driver, so that would be his first victory. But you got Fitzpatrick, Preston, Schrittenthal, and Nolan Porter there. So yeah, it's definitely interesting. I believe also. Let's see here. Yeah, so Schrittenthal not a win not a win this season. Nolan Potter doesn't have a win. Does Preston? Yes, Curtis Preston does. And so yeah, 2 of the playoff guys in the top 7 right here don't have wins, and 3 of them do. So we could see a new winner, and especially the front 2 there without winning. So cool stuff, possibilities here. We'll see how it shakes out. But man, oh man, we're gonna have 3 to go. We take this green. It's go time.
Well, Zach, I'm really excited for this. Team first row, 2 teammates. Second row, 2 teammates, and then you got third row, Zach Schrittenthal on the 2. He's looking for his first win, and it's a great chance at this track to do that. It's definitely within reach, starting third. I think if he's got a chance, he's going to try to dip to that outside lane and give himself the best position possible to maybe make a move and not get stuck. So this is about to get really crazy, and I can't wait to see what happens.
That it is. And it's just short enough to where you're not going to overheat too bad here at the end of this race. He will start to overheat, but you got to manage them temps early so you can have it for the final laps as they get near the green flag zone. Green flag back in the air. Craig A. Burns, what a start. He is off to the races, pulling down to the bottom line. He has Ryan Bean there in tow with Bob Fitzpatrick in third. Who's going to win? Let us know in chat who you're rooting for. Thank you for all the support tonight, and we're going to get freaky fast.
Well, Zach Schrittenthal, he managed to get the third on that inside lane. He's got clear track ahead of him as he's poking out.
Look at this. Zach Schrittenthal jumps out to the top lane. He wants to get this victory. He played it safe in stage 2 after winning stage 1. Can he do this? On the outside line, it's building up there. You got Curtis Preston also there in tow. But up front, Craig A. Burns will lead us to 2 to go here at Talladega with Ryan Bean following and Nolan Porter on the bottom.
A little bit of separation from Bob and Zach on the outside lane, but managed to hold a lot of ground.
We're going to have a green light checker here as our Nissan Central caution flag has came out here. We will go back to the replay in a second. This is our 5th caution of the night and 3rd involving the wreck. So I think that started all around there, around the 99 of Daniel Gonzalez. Yeah, unfortunately, he will have a heavy lick. Go back to the replay. Check this out. There's the 99. Sticks it in the middle. Oh, and it looks like he got maybe a little bit of touch there from the 59 of Travis Everett there to send the 99 around. Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. That was, I believe, Kevin Sibila. And look at the hard hit of the 4, Brock Potter. Oh, man. Another playoff driver knocked out right there. So, unfortunate for a few playoff drivers so far. It's a nice race. I tell you what, that is literally Talladega. But we will have 2 green white checkers here tonight possible. And we'll see how this all plays out as Craig A. Burns still holds the lead. But I tell you what, they don't have to do no special restart this time. Brandon, because Brian Bean will actually restart third, so they'll both be able to start on the bottom, and not have to really time that restart like they've been doing.
Well, yeah. Unfortunately, they're starting 1 and 3, so they're just going to be able to hook up from the get go, and there's not much these other guys can do about it. But I got a feeling that Bob Fitzpatrick, he's going to be all over the rear bumper of Zach Schrittenthal to get him out to the front to negate that advantage that the teammates are going to have on the inside lane.
That is so. We will head to our first green-white checker of the night. Man, oh man, what a race we've seen. Remember, we have 2 green-white checkers here, so a possibility of 2. We'll be taking our first here in a few moments after these guys do a few pace laps. And man, it could get really crazy here now with the with the green-white checkers. The cautions breed cautions, as we always say here, freaky fast. And we're seeing that tonight. As these guys have gotten down to the nitty-gritty here, the cautions have started to come out here, and definitely going to get wild again. And I wouldn't be surprised if we have to use that second green-white checker.
Zach, I watched that replay back from the accident, and our man Randy Cornwell again escaped certain disaster, just missing that wreck.
He's in 9th.
Yeah, and he's up to 9th place. Whatever little bit of luck he's got, the horseshoe or the rabbit's foot, I'm gonna need some shavings and some little bits of hair off of either one of them things, because I couldn't imagine being that lucky at a Talladega race.
Man, he's definitely got by on the hair of his teeth, man. It's just been a really as my producer tells the joke in the background, it makes me if you didn't know, I am a bit of a laugher / giggler, so when I hear a corny joke like I just heard, it was it's just one thing I laugh about. But back to what I was saying, Randy Cornwell, man, what a rebound for him. That is critical coming into the playoffs tonight for him, as he came in here 6 points up on the cut line in 9th. Man, I would not be surprised if we see him maybe get up into that top 5, maybe in the top 3 position by the end of this race. He's definitely done a great job to position himself back into where he's got now in 9th with that early mistake of staying out and having a pit under green.
I think anything inside the top 10 for the night that he's had, and the close calls, that's a win. That's an absolute win for the 18 Randy Cornwell. I'd take it any day of the week.
Yeah, you can't get too greedy here at Talladega. Sometimes, the situations have played out decent for him. That's for sure. Could have been a lot worse. Here's we continue to pace. Shout out to everybody out there viewing. We are ready to get this thing kicked off back green, because I'll tell you what, it's going to be one heck of a show as the pace car lights go out, and this will be our final pace lap before our first green-white checkered attempt here tonight at the RSR Cup Series. Shout out to everybody, as I said, viewing here tonight. We appreciate y'all. Thank you for really pumping the chat up and getting it going there right here at the end. Really, really love to see the energy and the support you get for your drivers out there. Remember, if you have not yet, please drop us a like, a comment, a follow, a subscribe on YouTube, and hit that thumbs up button, because it really, really helps us out here at Freaking Fast Broadcasting to get these leagues out there and get them the views they deserve, because, man, this is one heck of a show here they're putting on tonight.
Couldn't have said it any better myself, Zach. I am so excited for this restart.
I know. This race has been amazing, to where literally this is literally going to play out like I don't know how it's going to play out. That's the thing. If anything could happen from here personally. We could see anybody personally in the top 20 can win this thing. You never know if certain things transpire here at Talladega. So, if I'm a driver, this is the point where you're just like, man, I just want to see the white flag. Just show me the white flag, please. They want to see that Sheffield
Absolutely.
Graphics white flag. That's what they want, and then they want to see that Sheffield Graphics, race winner sponsorship too. So that's always nice to win a race.
I said it at the top of the broadcast. I picked the one of Drew Hatcher and the two of Zach Schrittenthal to, come out with this win just because those are the numbers that I run. And, the fact that Zach hasn't won yet, I would absolutely love to see him bring this thing into victory lane. But it's really anybody's race. Everybody I think in the top 10 at this point, they've got a really good shot at it.
That they do. Maybe possibly the last time they paced into the tri-oval. Here they go, getting ready for the restart zone.
Green, green, green.
And there it is. Freaky Green is out. Green, white, checkered attempt number 1. Here we go. 2 laps to go. Who comes back here, Victor? Do they get back to the white flag, or do we see another caution? We'll have to see. Stay tuned. And, man, grab your seats because it's about to get wild.
Unfortunately, not that great of a restart from the two. Outside lane just could not get going. Yeah, 3 and 29 teammates decided that, we're going to take this 3 wide here and go for the win ourselves. We've got the 18. He's up there in the mix, ready to push the 2.
Oh, and he does back down to the bottom. Zach Schrittenthal, no friends here, unfortunately. Coming out of turn 4. Craig A. Burns leading with Ryan Bean, followed behind Nolan Potter. He jumps up. He jumps to the top line. Oh, the big block thrown. Bob Fitzpatrick goes below.
4 wide.
Followed. White flag in the air presented by Sheffield Graphics. Who was going to win? It is 4 wide going down into turn 1.
Oh, a little bit of contact.
Oh, Bob Fitzpatrick up into the wall. He's going to lose a good bit of momentum here. Look at this. Randy Cornwell. Oh, no, he's into the wall. Off of 2. Who's going to win it? Ryan Bean pushing Craig A. Burns. Zach Schrittenthal back into the back bumper there on the inside. Look at this. Oh, no, Scott Taylor. They hit. It's going to be a 2-car battle to the end. Oh, man. Big wreck. Oh, my goodness gracious. It's going to be a 2-car battle unless Nathan Campbell can do something about it. Can he get a big enough run? Here comes Ryan Bean. He jumps to the outside of Craig A. Burns. I think he's got the run. It's going to be a photo finish, ladies and gentlemen. Here it comes. Ryan Bean is your winner. Wow, what a win here. Ryan Bean is your race winner here, presented tonight by Sheffield Graphics. Everybody out in the chat. Whew. What a finish. Look at that. Ryan Bean pulling his first victory here tonight in his 3rd career start here in the RSR Cup Series. I'm out of breath. I'm excited to talk to these gentlemen. And our first playoff driver is going to be Curtis Preston. And 7th there is Nolan Potter. So a lot of playoff drivers getting caught up in that last little wreck there. But man, oh man, Ryan Bean has got to be ecstatic.
Man, I don't know what to say. There's so much going on. It was hard to keep up with. Teammates managed to break out and then, have a drag race. That race had everything.
Whew, I'm literally out of breath. Like that one darn wore me out, guys. I am thoroughly impressed. And man, oh man, we will get ready for our post-race interviews with our podium finishers here tonight. And we will be back in just a few moments, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in here tonight at Freaky Fast Broadcast. Welcome back, everybody. Here we're back from break, and now we head to our podium interviews. Man, oh man, I'll tell you what, we got Nathan Campbell here, bringing home in the 3rd position tonight. What a race we just seen between these guys. He started that final lap in 5th. We'll have to see what his thoughts were on that final lap. Hey, Nathan, it's Zach in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Going great up here, buddy. Well, man, you were able to navigate it through all the calamity there at the end. You started that final white flag lap in 5th. How did you guide her back to 3rd?
Oh, man, it was just complete chaos there, and especially here at the end. I was very thankful that I was able to escape on the outside somehow. It was kind of a miracle, to be honest with you. I mean, probably should have wrecked, but able to save it, and I'm pumped. I was happy to get that Ziegler Motorsports number 52 up there on the podium, at least. It's my best finish so far this year. Really wish I was able to get in the playoffs, but joined a little late in the league, so here we are.
Awesome stuff, Nathan, there, man. Yeah, that was an awesome ride for you tonight. You were up there for most of the night, leading the outside line, leading the bottom line, getting some laps led, man. Like you said, unfortunately didn't make the playoffs this season, but definitely building it for next season here. A very, very strong start for you. 3rd place position here to finish tonight, your best career finish here. Yep. What a race, man. How did the race play out exactly how you wanted it to with the strategy wise?
Yeah, I always tell myself coming into these races, I'm going to fall back, I'm going to hang out, but I can never do it, so I always end up trying to stay up towards the front and try to stay out of the pack, and just kind of my background is racing. I never try to follow people, and obviously there's not much you can do here, but I just try to stay ahead of the wreck is kind of the goal there, and I was able to do that at least on the last lap, so it was pretty good. I'm glad I was able to push my teammate there, Zach. I was glad I was able to push him to a 1st place on the stage win there on that 1st stage. So that was good.
Yeah, definitely great teamwork from you guys there at Stealth Motorsports, man, to help your teammate out there in the playoffs, get him some 10 bonus points there early in this race. Also to come home in 3rd here tonight. Now we head off to Chicagoland Speedway next week. How you feeling about the 1.5 miles there at Chicagoland?
I'm excited. It's always a fun track. I really wish they had kept it on the schedule in real life. But no, I'm pumped. It's going to be a fun one. I was able to visit there in real life a couple of times, so it's always a lot of fun checking that place out.
Awesome, Nathan. Well, man, congrats on the 3rd. And before we let you go, anybody want to send a shout to?
Just got to thank Ziegler Motorsports. If you guys need any power sports needs out there, just hit me up, ZieglerMotorsports.com. Give us a call.
Awesome, Nathan. Well, buddy, congrats again, like I said, on 3rd. And we will hopefully talk to you again next week on the podium here next week at Chicagoland.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
All right. That was your 3rd place finisher tonight for Stealth Motorsports. Nathan Campbell in that 52 machine. What a race for him all night. They're able to help his teammate Zach Schrittenthal get some early stage points and definitely help the bleeding there for definitely Zach getting involved in that wreck there. So now we'll move on to 2nd of Craig A. Burns, who was literally a nose away from winning this race. But I got to say, one of the best pushers all night in that, sorry about that. It's, front row racing car. So we will talk to Craig A. Burns. Hey, Craig, it's Zach in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, Craig, what a night for you here at Talladega. I tell you what, that peak number 12 Camaro there, she was up front all night. Was that the game plan coming into the race?
Yeah. There's 2 game plans when you come here. It's either go back or stay up front. And I thought, I'm gonna stay up front. Hopefully, try to avoid all the wrecks. And it played out pretty good.
Yeah, definitely did there for you. Unfortunately, just came up a bumper short. But man, what a race it was all night between you guys. You and Ryan Bean worked very well together there on the bottom, the top, just really playing those restarts to perfection to get together and work together. And it came down between you two there at the end. It really seemed like you were one of the best pushers all night. I gotta say, it seemed like anytime someone got ahead of that number 12, they were going towards the front. So, just a little bit short. How do you feel about coming 2nd? Are you a little bit disappointed, or you get with how the night played out?
I'm always a little disappointed coming in 2nd. I always want to get that win, but me and Ryan, we were doing a pretty good job. He's my teammate there, front row. So those last restarts, we didn't really want to see him, but when he came out, I thought we played him pretty good. Got got in a line, worked as a tango, and the slingshot I knew was coming. I didn't want to block him to wreck him, so glad we had a great finish here, and hopefully carry it over to Chicagoland.
Yeah, definitely. That's actually leads to my next question. How do you feel about Chicagoland there, Craig?
Love it. I put that in my top five favorite tracks there. So
Awesome. So
pretty
we'll
excited for it.
hopefully see you up there front there again at Chicagoland, man. Before we let you go here tonight, anybody wants to shout to?
Yeah, just like to thank all my teammates out at Front Row Racing, Ryan, Scott putting on a show. You guys coming along doing the broadcast. I know you guys do an excellent job. Appreciate you guys coming out here with our team, and shout out my dad. I know he's up there watching.
Awesome, Craig. Well, buddy, you have a good night, and congrats on that second place finish, and we'll catch you at Chicagoland next week.
Thanks, guys.
All right, that was Craig A. Burns there, and that number 12 machine bringing it home in the second place position there for Front Row Racing. Now we're going to get a talk in with the man who won the second stage. We heard him talk about it earlier tonight about getting that first victory. Man, oh man, he did it. Let's get a talk in here with Ryan Bean, your Sheffield Graphics race winner here at the RSR Cup Series. Hey, Ryan, it's Zach in the booth, man.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Oh, it's going pretty good, but I bet it's going better for yourself. As man, what a finish to that race. You said you wanted to stick with your teammates, and it came down between you and your teammate there at the very end. You were able to get that slight slingshot right around to get a win by a nose. And man, what great teamwork between y'all two. First of all, I must say, through those restarts, getting together on all of those. What a race! But congrats on the victory. What's your thoughts, man?
Yeah. First of all, thanks to Craig. We were we were teaming up all night, and we wouldn't be where we were if it weren't for each other. And the plan was to just push him to the win if the pack stayed together, but obviously they didn't, and it was just me and him. I kind of felt we could race each other clean, and luckily I was able to side draft him up and win, fortunately. So
yeah, man. Like I said, was an awesome race between y'all all night. You really, once you got to the front there in that stage 2 after winning it, you pretty much stayed up there the whole entire time. Really put yourself in position for this victory. And what do you think were the keys for tonight, being able to get this victory here?
Again, teamwork. We beat it all week, in practice and everything. We figured out we knew what each other's tendency were. When it comes to bumping and stuff. Craig is easily the best pusher I've ever seen. I didn't get to practice with him much, so I was a better leader than I think a pusher. But I started to pick it up there in the third stage, and that's why I was totally confident pushing Craig all the way to the win. But like I said, had the opportunity, I had to take it.
Definitely did have to take it there, buddy. And I tell you what, congrats on the victory here tonight. Your first here at the RSR Cup Series here at Talladega Super Speedway. Next week, we head off to Chicagoland. How you feeling about Chicagoland, man?
It's gonna be interesting. It's not like any other track I've ever raced a cup car. This is my third ever race in a cup car. So Chicagoland's a new challenge, but I'm sure we practice a lot throughout the week, so I'm sure we'll figure something out. I'm excited.
Awesome stuff to hear, man. Well, congrats on winning your third Cup Series start ever. That's awesome to hear. Like I said, congrats again. Before we let you go, anybody wants to shout out?
Yeah, my family, my brother, my sister, mom and dad, of course. Couldn't do it without them. Obviously living with them right now, but also my teammates. Obviously couldn't have done it without them today and all their help. So, and of course you guys. This first broadcast, I hope we put on a good show for everybody. It was really awesome. So thank you guys.
Oh, well, thank you, Ryan. I can't wait for you to go back and watch it, man, because it was a blast up here in the booth for me and Kali to call. We had lots to talk about, and it was very fun. So thank you guys for putting on the heck of a show, and we'll catch you next week at Chicagoland. Congrats on your victory again.
Sure, thank you guys. Have a good one.
All right, that was your Sheffield Graphics race winner here tonight at the RSR Cup Series, Ryan Bean, for his first career victory here at the RSR Cup Series. Man, what a night, guys. Whew. We're about to go to the unofficial results now, but I'm still just pumped from that ending, and we will head to them now as I get these pulled up here. And all right, so your unofficial results here tonight at Talladega Super Speedway is Ryan Bean bringing home the victory in that first place position. Second goes to Craig A. Burns. Third is Nathan Campbell. Fourth, Curtis Preston. Top 5 finish here for Robert Nestor in the A machine. Sixth goes to Drew Hatcher. Seventh is Nolan Potter. Eighth goes to Kevin Sabilla. Ninth is Matthew Rush. 10th goes to Casey Kuntz. 13th is Chad Biesinger. 12th is Zach Schridenthal. 13th is Michael Martino. 14th goes to Tony Ludi. 15th, our pole setter tonight, GT Isri. 16th is Daniel Gonzalez. 17th is Scott Taylor. 18th, our points leader coming into tonight, Bob Fitzpatrick. 19th goes to Randy Cornwell after his bounce back to get on the lead lap. Will finish tail end of the lead lap. 20th goes to Dustin Stallings running our top 20. 21st, Travis Everett. 22nd goes to Adam Buzzio. 23rd is Junior Miller. 24th goes to David Hall. 25th goes to 22 of Harold Watkins. 26th will be Kevin Ruff. 27th is Brock Potter. 28th, Marc-Andre Thibodeau. 29th is Kevin Zabladil. 30th is Michael Sheffield, one of our playoff contenders. Unfortunate night for him. 31st will be Anthony Younes. 32nd, Andrew Little. 33rd is Matthew Upbrock. And rounding out your field here tonight at 34th is Ryan Ezel for our unofficial results here at the RSR Cup Series at Talladega Super Speedway. Man. And these are our playoff finisher here, guys. So this shows all the finishing positions here for our playoff drivers. And some unfortunate endings for a few guys. As you can see, Curtis Preston being the top playoff driver here tonight. But man, oh man, some definitely heavy hits there. As you see, Matt Upbrock, 84 laps down. Andrew Little, 84 laps down. So those guys definitely having a tough night here at the Talladega Super Speedway. And here are our... Oh, nope. I think that was something else. But yeah, that is pretty much the rounder out for tonight, guys. It has been a heck of a show. Shout out to league sponsors Sheffield Graphics and or Nissan Central for all the support they do here at the RSR Cup Series. Man, I'm telling you what, we had one heck of a show. I'm just so excited how that played out.
It had everything. It had a comedy. It had romance. There was conflict. You know, it was just a crazy race. I don't know what else to say about it.
That is a fact, Brandon. And thank you for being in the booth with me tonight, man. It was a pleasure as always. Robert up in the cameras, got to give him a huge shout out because without him, we wouldn't have these beautiful shots and these beautiful pictures to give to all you race fans out there. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in here tonight at Freaky Fast Broadcast.
All right. Well, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you everybody for tuning in on YouTube and Facebook. If you're on the YouTube side, don't forget to hit that subscribe and like button and the share tab and share it to your favorite social media platform of your choosing. If you're on the Facebook side and you haven't done it already, don't forget to hit that bell, follow us, like us, share it to your friends and family, show them what you like to do or what you like to watch. But until tomorrow night, we will be live with SRU with some dirt racing in the trucks as we take on Eldora at 7:50. But until then, hopefully everybody has a great night. God bless everybody. Love yous all. Peace out.
Later, guys.
Bye.